Hey, Blake.
Ready? It's ready. You are.
What?
Can you hear me? Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little. For some reason, your voice is extremely low, but otherwise, I can hear you.
Oh,
Oh boy. You should almost leave it super high and squeaky for when other people get in here and just to mess with them.
We're on. This is better.
Hey, Lunar's in here. Cool.
I'll come in. What up, Lunar?
And Heaven's Mopar, is it?
All right. I think it's back to normal.
Yeah. I
I
don't know.
had something
Voice
stuck in my
changer.
throat.
Oh, okay.
So what's up, Ryan? How you been?
Not too bad. Just working on some stuff out in the shop a little bit today. Actually sold a car today and some other stuff, so working on a bunch of crap piece by piece. Coming from two. And if anybody in the chat wants to join I could put a link in the thing to join. I actually figured out how to do that. Nope, still can't do it.
Okay, see on the bottom, Ryan, where it says share.
Wait, now I got it. Hopefully that works. I don't think it showed as a link. But see if I do that. Make sure that the link didn't change. I don't know why it would. But
Oh, it's a clickable link.
oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
It shows as black for me. It doesn't show the little like blue or whatever.
Yeah, if you're on the actual YouTube browser screen, it's a clickable link. It's not in the
Cool.
Streamyard chat. What up, Mr. Foot?
Hey guys, are you getting any feedback?
Yeah, yep, we hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just wondering if it was echoing too bad or something.
No,
Nope.
it's fine.
All right.
It's good.
I'm going to be moving around a little bit here. But anyway, what's up, guys?
Not much. Just over there moving, trying to make everybody motion sick or what?
Yeah.
I'm just giving you crap. You're fine.
Trying to find a place. Family's still moving around, so
Oh, yeah.
pretty soon I'll have free reign of the living room. But I'll just sit in my tub.
Oh, geez.
That's a nice image for you.
There you go. Good acoustics.
Yeah.
So, when are you going to stuff the motor in Jack Pine Savage, man?
That's where I was at all day today. I was over at Gary's, and
Oh, yeah.
man, he's going to start calling me flip flop pretty soon because I've changed my mind so many times here recently that I'm driving him nuts.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
You don't overthink it too much.
Yeah. I was telling some guys about a secret plan I was going to do for a reveal at No Name Nationals. And I was going to set it up where I was going to do some subterfuge or whatever and make you guys think I was doing something, and I was going to show up and unveil my 68 satellite instead with a supercharged 440. And Gary's like, you're going back down the Coronet Trail. He goes, you're going to wind up spending all that money on a 750 horsepower engine, and then you're going to have to start tearing the satellite apart again. So he actually talked me out of that. So we came up with a second plan, and that one I'll kind of keep close to chest for a little bit, but some people already know about it.
I think I know a little bit. I won't say much.
Cool, dude.
You're local enough, I could just drive over and investigate.
Yeah. Well, you can run up there with me. But one of the things I was talking to Gary about was he's got a little bit more room in his shop, but he's losing his helping hand, and he's older, so he didn't want to put the engine in. And I had this guy Cullen that was going to do it for me, but I think I'm going to call Andy. Gary will supervise, and then I'm sure we never took the transmission out, disconnected any of the transmission lines or the starter. So, and Andy knows where everything, he's put the engine and taken it out so many times. He took it out in like an hour and a half. So we can put in the new converter, get that in, and then Gary can make sure that everything works right. So that's the plan. Just got to find a nice day to do that. And then Gary's got a couple cars taking up his shop space right now. So who knows, Ryan? Maybe me and you could go do it, and Gary could supervise us.
Yeah. Oh, NSB is wondering who's talking.
Man, I was going to surprise NSB, but that's not going to happen now.
No.
The Jack Line's going to surprise him.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. Joe gave me a couple tips and gave me his secret converter guy. So I'm hoping that the new combo is going to liven things up pretty good for me. But
the secret
they're
converter
already
guy
running
that
in
he
the
told
quarter.
everybody about.
What's that?
I said the secret converter guy he told everybody about.
Yeah. I was first he told about it. And actually, John Wilburn told him about him. So.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
I didn't go with their locking diode one, which was like their top of the line. I went with an 8-inch converter though.
Yeah,
So,
I know about this much about converters.
Yeah. So it's more of a full race converter. So if I were to try to drive the jack plane on the street, it would heat up pretty fast.
Mhm.
So it's going to be good for kind of short jaunts.
What's the stall? Like 5,000?
So it's different for Mike Iden and them. It's technically, I think he said around like 3,800, but I'm making about 620 foot-pounds of torque about then too. So
That's not that bad.
yeah, the engine's really square. I mean, it makes as much torque as it does horsepower, pretty much from the get-go to the end. So
Do you have a how do I word it? A goal of an ET set in mind?
is if you can kick NSB out of the chat.
Well, I'm just wondering if you're gonna have to get
No, I got
licenses and stuff if you're too fast,
Before we did the refresh, Andy swore the engine was making 600 horsepower when he had it in the car the first time, but Gary said no way. It looked like it was putting about 425 to the rear wheels, and it was running a 7.2. Now we're probably about 100 to 120 horsepower more.
7.2 in the 8th.
Yeah, that was what it was in the 8th. Yeah, it was running like 11.45 in the quarter.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get to clip 10s. That would be my goal, if I can. So like 6.9 or 6.8, hopefully. I mean, that's optimal. That's if I do everything right. That's where I got to learn how to drive the car. I got a lot of people that are going to go along and help me. And like if I get to meet up with you guys and go to the tracks, that's going to be pretty cool.
I was thinking Dallas is going to be in Humboldt next weekend. I was thinking about maybe trying to get over that way, but
that would work for me. I'm off next weekend.
I really doubt I'll be racing.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm not either. But it would be fun to go watch and meet people.
Yeah,
I'm always up for checking out.
I'd bring my daughter along with me. She loves all this stuff.
I'm definitely not doing any racing.
Yeah, as long as you can get it done in 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
I love that when she asked if you could go home yet. That was good.
Yeah. Every 10 minutes after that.
Blake, your enemy has arrived.
What's up, Mr.
What's up, man?
Now
How you doing, Blake? How you feeling?
Doing all right, man. Feeling all right.
Hey, Heavens Mopars.
What's
Hey
up,
guys,
Bigfoot?
I made it. Sorry I left.
Heavens, all right.
I'm messing on my phone trying to figure it out.
I didn't see you were waiting in the queue thing, or else I would have added you sooner.
It's all good.
There's
I
the guy with the
appreciate it.
yard that I love.
Oh yeah, thank you. Maybe it'll get some grass someday.
Think
Yeah,
you got-
I don't know.
You got almost as much crap as I do.
I was going to say Ryan and Scott are bad influences on me.
Yeah.
Grass
Yeah.
don't grow in shade.
Trying to keep up with the Barsonuses.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I have. Okay. And can
What
you
up,
still hear me?
Raker?
Yeah, we can.
I lost
Raker's in the
volume.
chat.
Raker,
Raker.
he's everywhere, man.
I love that guy. He's always nice, and he's always got.
My apologies if I lose you again.
Oh, you're all right.
Shut an alarm off, and I can't hear anything
Ray-
now.
Raker's going for the Mopar Nut 62 title.
Oh yeah.
The guy
Yeah.
that comments on everybody's
Good luck.
videos.
I've been shooting for it. I try to comment a lot.
There's like a hit list, like a top 5. You got Raker, Mopar Nut,
Yeah.
Plan Z.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or wait,
Mopar Nut's
that's unfinished project.
Mopar Man in 1978 ain't
78.
doing too bad either.
Yep, he's all over.
Mopar Nut, you got competition. Get to it.
I ain't worried about it.
You always got something.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Well, fellas, I'm having a really hard time finding one piston.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't think it was going to be this. You know,
Oh, there goes NSB Dart Sport.
yeah.
So I was talking to Gary today, and he's got a couple engines in the pipeline, and he was wanting to get some dish pistons for a blower motor, and they said, "Oh, that's going to be like 8 months out." So he asked them how much if they could take the pistons, a different piston, and then grind it down for him. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we could have that for you in about 4 weeks."
Wow.
So it's going to be cheaper or faster for them to take an existing piston and grind it down than to come up with the piston that he needs. So
Yeah, I was reading Mopar Action, and they're talking about in the tech sections. I was thinking they don't have any blocks to build engines. They
Really?
don't have any new blocks to build engines. So basically, you have to find a seasoned block to build an engine. That's
Yeah.
messed up, dude.
That's what I found. I got to go on Saturday to Madison, Wisconsin, to pick up a fresh 30 over block.
I guess I better not throw away any of the blocks I already have.
No kidding.
Yeah. I need to start selling some of the blocks I have. I got like 30 of them.
Yeah, yeah. That's what 440 Source did. They sold all of theirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because what are they going to do with them, right? They're just sitting around.
yeah, I've got my
Yeah.
440 and my 400, so I'm pretty
Well,
much set.
Rob told me I could get some Keith Blacks in about 4 weeks. So,
Hey, you're going to get the whole set, right?
yeah, basically. Because I called Summit, I called Jugs, and
Are they
both of
gonna-
them gave me the same answer. You can't get a single one right
Wow.
now. And then I tried to get a hold of the manufacturer of the
But buying a
piston.
new set of pistons,
Huh?
but by buying a new set of pistons, Blake, you're going to be able to help out 8 other guys that just need one piston.
I was just about to say, find 7 other
I
guys
think
with your
7.
same problem.
7.
Well,
Sell those one
Dang it.
pistons that you have extra, you know, for a price.
Help out the
I-
other guys with your same problem.
Yeah, the
Right.
availability
Yes,
being
yeah,
so low, you
help
can
them
go,
out.
hey, you know, $100, $200 a piston.
Raker, I'm looking for 30
Yeah.
over hypertectics with valve reliefs. But, you know, they're not ungodly expensive to get an 8-pack of them, so I think it's actually cheaper to go through Keith Black because they send you the rings also than Speed or whatever.
Are they going to send Molly rings with that?
I think so.
Do they
I-
have
I-
okay.
I didn't get into all the specifics, Mopar Nut, but,
Yeah,
you know,
you're like,
hunting for the one.
you're better off with a top Molly ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to use the cast iron. They wear the damn bore too hard.
But,
Yeah, I just had my set of heads sent out to a guy down south, friend of mine. He's going to have those. I sent him a set of big block 915 heads, the closed chamber, but with the bigger valves, the 174
Right.
intake rather than the 1.6. And he's gonna go through and mill and port and clean those up for me. And I mean, I think from the factory they're about. I've heard different ratings. Maybe you know this, Mopar Nut. I don't know. I've been told that they're about 79 cc chambers.
Yeah. About 79, 78, yeah.
78, yeah,
Gas in the
78,
60s.
79.
Right.
And that's
But are you going to run the exhaust seats? Are you going to harden them or? You're gonna run.
He's gonna go through. He's gonna go through and put hardened seats in it, I believe. But the big thing is, I mean, the factory 906s that are on the engine that I'm building, those are 88 cc. So if you take those, you're knocking 10 cc's off of the chamber, and you're going up about 0.6 of a point of compression just on the heads alone, at least.
Yeah,
So
you're gonna have to get different pistons to get the compression on that, and then cut the decks on the cylinders.
well, the deck of the losing words here. The actual face of the heads are getting milled a little bit as well.
Right. Probably get away with like 10,000.
Yeah.
On it.
Yeah, he said that he was doing research, and he said he could go 20, but he'll probably stick with 10.
Yeah, because any more than that, you might affect the way the intake fits. Then you have to mill something else. You have to mill the.
Well,
other
he said,
side of the face.
I'm not sure how the geometry works on that, but he said he could also mill. He could mill at an angle, and he would have to mill the intake and the actual the port side.
You're better off milling the heads and not the intake, because then you got an intake that won't fit any other engine.
No, I mean the intake side of the cylinder.
And the intake wouldn't fit no more. I had to re-drill the intake for it to fit.
Yeah, and it's currently got like 40,000 gaskets on it. I've got brand new 20,000 steel shims on the shelf right now, so that'll help a little bit
put
too.
On steel shims and copper
Yeah,
covering on it, and that brought up my 383. That's why my Cordova sounds so mean when it was running, because I brought the compression up.
Yeah, I remember the video you put up of that thing running. It does sound like a beast.
It sounds pretty mean, but yeah, New Jersey won't let me drive it.
Really like to get that 383 out of the one Super B and put it in the other Super B, but I don't know when I'll get time to do that or not. Got to do the over here first.
Yeah, I want to take my motorhome engine and do a high compression one out of that one. I got a motorhome engine with a steel crank and 6-pack rods. I might use the 6-pack rods. I might just have it rebalanced and use better rods like H-beams.
Yeah.
Why don't you like the LY rods?
What up, Jay?
Oh, the LY rods are fine, but I
Other
want
lives going on right now?
You want
The
what?
six-pack rods suck.
Yeah, because they're heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're okay up to about 5,000, 5,200. They're okay, but they slow down the rotation, the amount of RPM you can get.
Unnecessary rotating mass weight.
Exactly.
And that's why people are putting lighter than factory rods in them, and they're actually getting better RPM capabilities out of it.
Yeah, especially with a 383 or a 400, because of the low deck, it spins up fast.
And
You gotta have those rods. You got 35. And you don't want to break a rod. You know what happens when you break a rod? So the rod bolts and rod have to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah. The one thing I want to do is I want to do a 400 stroker. I don't know what route to go, but I've got a 1972 400 real 230 block sitting here. It's the toughest one they ever made. I just don't know what to do with it. I kind of want to put it in my 71 Roadrunner, but
Does it need an overbore?
no, I mean it'll clean up. It shouldn't need much.
That's the hardest thing to find is stock, standard bore for what do you call it? Stroke.
Right.
Everybody wants to go like 30 over, 40 over, because I got 2 Cherry 440s that you can still see the crosshatch in them. There's no need to bore them. I just want to put them in and go.
Right.
My biggest regret is my 68 440 was a running engine when I took it to Gary right before COVID hit. And I had him take it apart. I probably should have just cleaned it up and painted it and put it in my satellite, and I'd have been having a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm. We've been driving it around.
Yeah, instead of
That's what I did with the 1440 I had. I had to take it apart. I just couldn't leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
But now I get to put new rods in it.
I was going to reuse LY rods. You got me kind of worried now, but
The LYs are
440 is going to be 30 over with TRW forged pistons that I already have on, and they're already mounted on LY rods.
the LY rods are fine. It's the 6-pack rods you don't want to use.
Yeah,
right.
What up, Teller Garage?
and it's a steel crank engine too, forged.
Right. But you can always have the LY rods Magnaflux and checked and make sure they're not cracked and all, and check for straightness.
I actually got 16 of them, so they could take the best of the 16.
I was just about to say, if you need one or two more, I got a whole nother 2 or 3 sets around here if you need any. But
yeah, my engine trailer's full of them.
But
I think it is you, Roy boy.
Got some fresh 906s that had dyno time only after being refreshed that I got from Kuda Dan, and he gave me the bigger valves to put in it. So Gary's gonna put the bigger valves in the heads and then do his little port magic on them.
Well,
and
you don't suck like in the way you think.
Yeah,
they're great for strength. They're just complete overkill, and they're completely way too heavy than what they need to be.
The pistons were heavy too. They were TRW pistons. If you order the 6-pack pistons, they're heavy, and then you add the heavy rod. Okay, on top of that, that's a lot of mass to be moving.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, a piston goes up to the top and then goes back down. It's reversing. All that inertia is reversing itself.
Yeah, I'll be back,
So
guys, later.
that rod is gets longer and shorter every single time, over hundreds and hundreds of cycles. So eventually something's gonna say snap.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So new rods, I guess you can get what H beams for. You used to be able to get them for 600.
Yeah, they're like 750 now.
Right.
The last I saw.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And that's if you can get them.
I haven't looked at them, so.
Yeah, that's if you can get them.
Yeah,
I've seen like on Summit some H beams that they some H beams that they marked as in stock or like one only order now. But I've heard like 2X Garage was even talking about how they'll say that, but then once you order it and they got your money, then they tell you they don't have it, and then you're on the waiting game too. So that's why
that happened with parts.
That's why
you're on the wait list.
Yeah, that's why we're going.
I've had that over a year waiting for parts.
Yeah.
Over a year.
That's why we're.
I'm talking like lawnmower parts, all kinds of parts.
Yeah.
Parts for cars, but I'm like, I have to have it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need a fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump for a direct injection car or truck. You can't just let it sit there for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Stream hopping.
Who else is that going?
Oh, 2 hacks. I'm gonna hop over there in a little bit, but
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, 2 hacks is still going?
Cool.
yeah,
Going
I
pretty
went
crazy.
over there. And, I don't know.
Yeah, and
Here's
just
the
to let
link.
you guys know, I'll probably have to leave so I can get back to work. I could probably stay another 10 minutes or so.
No,
Sure.
You start working through the night.
Oh yeah, work swing shift.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
graveyard shift guy too. So did you start on your duster yet? You got it in your shop?
Yeah, finally. I need to get caught up on my videos. I got a lot of material that's building up on my GoPro on
That's
my
hard
card.
to deal with.
So I got to hurry up and get the ball going again. But yeah, it's in the garage. I just now started the firewall. I was going to cut and butt it so it's nice and flush instead of overlapping. And I just started that. But my wife, she wants me to build an extension off the chicken coop. So I've been distracted by that for the past week. And so I finally got that done.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it'll be game time once I'm able to work on it again. So,
Now,
and I'm
that's
actually heading out to my parents' place tomorrow. And in the previous videos of the 440 to use that's sitting on the floor, but I think I found another motor to use in it. My dad, he has a trail duster that has a 440 in it, and apparently it's been kind of built.
Yeah.
I think it may have roller rockers on it, and at least. So I thought, well, if anything, we'll just yank the motor out of that and just drop it right in the duster and call it good.
Oh yeah.
That's what
You
I got
couldn't tell-
going on.
Now, that's a back half car.
Yes, from the torsion bar cross member back,
Mhm.
and it's all square tubing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been worked. None of it's certifiable. The welds on it suck. But
I think you need to link again, Ryan.
Yeah, I just dropped it again there again.
Okay. I didn't see it. All right, cool.
so yeah, it's
Yeah, you couldn't stop me. I would take that 440 out like quick.
About how much does that weigh then?
A 440? Got to be
Well,
around what?
the,
585?
oh, the duster.
Oh,
Be honest with you, I have no idea.
All steel or?
Yeah, it's all steel tubing.
But like the body panels too, or?
Yeah, all the body panels are everything. I do have a fiberglass front bumper for it with aluminum braces.
Yeah.
So, but that's
There's-
the only thing.
You might be under 3,000 pounds, 2,800
I
probably.
was gonna say close to factory weight with the cage and everything, with all
Right,
the interior gutted out of it.
What's
That
the factory?
bumper shed's
440 in
about
it.
30 pounds for you.
What's the
With
factory
a
weight? of the
440,
duster?
it'll move.
It's like 33, 32, ain't it? Mope or not?
Yeah. Yeah, about that.
Man,
You
that's
figure
crazy.
a
Sounds
B
about
body is
right.
around 3,800.
Yeah, mine's 4,000 pounds.
I don't know what you got in there.
Barracudas are even lighter.
Listen, I still don't understand how that thing's 4,000 pounds.
I'm like, is that a
4,000
B
pound
body?
street car.
I think Barracudas are 28.
Did they pour cement in the frame rails?
I don't know, man.
It's
Yeah.
a 4,000 pound, 12-second street car.
Are there a bunch of lead bullets in the back or something?
Oh, when you guys were talking about torque converters earlier,
Mhm.
I'm gonna need a torque converter for mine.
Okay.
And you guys have all this Mopar knowledge. I just like the cars.
Yeah.
So when it comes to specs and stuff like that, I'm kind of clueless. But I was wondering what would be a good torque converter to use for just a basic stock 440.
Yeah.
I can't
It's a-
read it, Blake, but what does it
Yeah, we
say?
can't read that.
3508.
Yeah, what do you
Turbo
figure?
on
Around
340.
3,500 stall
Okay. And
That's for the B body or the duster,
For the
for the
duster.
duster.
but that's with everything in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
Like a-
3,500
usually a loaded-
RPM stall. Like start out
Converters.
in the middle range and then work your way up.
Yeah, like I'm putting a 3,600 in the Belvedere. 35,
Yeah, see?
36.
There you go. Yeah.
But you
Ask-
gotta.
Talk to your cam guy too, and he
I was
can
gonna
point
say
you in
you
the right
gotta spec
direction.
it out. You gotta take
Yeah.
into consideration
Yeah.
the weight of the car, the
Right.
type of suspension, the diameter of your rear wheel, your
Yeah,
horsepower,
35 in the nacho.
where you're making.
And you're going to be
peak
running
torque.
a 727, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a big block.
yes.
You can get in the ballpark with like a off-the-shelf converter, but both Gary and like Just Mopar Joe were like, you want to get the right converter if you're like, getting serious.
With the 3500 in the Barracuda with the 24-inch tall tires and the 430 gears, you don't feel that slingshot like you would
Yeah.
with the taller tire probably, or
Mm.
or a lower gear.
Well, that dynamic converter that I got for the Cornet project, that thing was like a 4,800 stall. So that thing was going to be a wild thing, that was, but that engine was 723 horsepower too. So it was kind of a beast.
Yep.
And mine,
That's a killer.
as odd as it sounds, I'd kind of like to use mine for more of a street use than strip, actually.
Oh, yeah.
So
Like I
you
said,
wanted-
go in the middle. Go in the middle.
Yeah, drive.
Isn't, hey,
3,000. 3,000 is
You
kind
might-
of a starting point.
is this a thing, if I remember correctly, that stall converter advertised for small block is a lower stall and always a higher stall for a big block, even though it's the same converter.
Mhm.
Yeah,
but
even the difference between like a 383 and a 440.
And the style of the converter too, because like Mike Iben said, it's going to sound like a slow or like a small stall that he was giving me, but it's a 8-inch converter. And then he mentioned that like if it was like a regular like 9 or 10-inch converter, it would be about a 4,000 or so stall. He was trying to explain it to me, but that's why it's fun.
either way, the same stall converter will act differently on a different engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I sent him my dyno sheet, my cam card, my weight of my car, my tire circumference, the rear, the fact that it's an 8.75. He asked me like a billion questions, and so hopefully we got the right one. But
That's a good guy, person that does that.
Oh,
Get
yeah,
all the
yeah.
information.
You know who that's not going to bother, Country Boy? Iron Horse Garage. Apparently, they got chickens all over the damn place.
I was just glad he didn't. I was glad he didn't choke that chicken on screen.
Right on the screen, yeah.
I want him to hit that tree, that low branch. I wanted to see him smack that thing with his head.
What he said
That
in the
would've been
video,
my
I
day.
just busted out laughing.
I guess he called us out. I mean, I seen it, but I don't know what their plan is.
Yeah.
That's the first time I heard about it, that they wanted to do anything with us. So
How many
I guess
stinking
bring it.
Barracudas are going to No Name Nationals?
Dude,
There's
I'm
got to
gonna
be
call
like
it the
5 of
Duster
them.
Nationals.
Barracudas
That's
and
the way
Dusters.
it seems like with dusters too. A lot of dusters.
They might
A-body
call it the
Nationals.
A-body.
Yeah, the A-body Nationals.
Yeah, well, A-bodies are pretty popular.
We're bringing 3 A-bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're bringing the 340 Duster of Terry's, Jeremy's bolt action crew cab triple pickle, and the Nacho Cuda with its new heart. Hopefully.
Me and Ryan will be the B-body guys.
Yeah,
There you go.
66 and 67 B-body. I think I'm trying to think of other 66 or 67 B-bodies that are going.
Monster Ross.
Dude Mopar, he's a pretty cool guy.
Chevy gang.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 67 Cornet that if he gets enough
Gang,
subs,
gang.
he's going to bring. And it's got a
Oh,
healthy
is it that
440.
kind of purplish blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just glad he's not bringing his 8-second quarter-mile dart.
And then if everything works out for Rapid Transit, they're bringing that 66 satellite, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And his dart. And then
Dude,
you got
I-
Jay
He
Ray
must have had a
bringing
dart,
his
yeah.
Duster.
I thought he had a dart.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
there's
contact
2
these
guys on the channel, so
Because I don't know like if they need any parts for their 383 or like if they got a sure grip ready for it or what. But I'd be willing to talk to him about some parts. I don't know what kind of intake he wants to run.
dude, I'm telling you, Jason Falk from Rapid Transit Garage, as soon as he found out, because I sent a couple of the guys on Facebook Messenger on April 1st, I'm like, man, Nacho's fucked. You know, and nobody believed me, and Jason said I can be at your house in 3 hours with a 5.9 Magnum.
Wow.
And I'm like, and then you messaged me.
Because if he
Yeah.
wanted like I know they're kind of rare, but I mean nowadays, but I took off that Edelbrock RPM Performer, that dual plane that most people want that you can't really get right now. Gary can't find any for 440s, and he's got 2 440s waiting to finish. But
I think I got one of them sitting on the shelf. Does he want one?
that's what I was gonna say. If you needed
I think I got one sitting on the shelf.
you need the bathroom. Am I too loud?
Like, hurry up and flush.
Okay.
Yeah, NSB, that Super B is cool.
The darts, nothing to mess with either. That thing looks radical.
Yeah.
Redbeard's Demon. That thing's radical. There's going to be some really radical stuff, and then there's going to be a lot of not
Hey, there's
radical
Luna.
stuff. There's going to be
I
a
did
lot
not
of,
scroll down. How long have you been waiting?
Oh, just about a minute.
Okay. I was like, okay. I just scrolled down. I was like, oh, wait, hi.
Oh, okay.
How y'all doing?
What up, Lunar? How you been, brother?
I can't complain. I figured to hop in and join you all.
Yeah, and I'll have to hop out in about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
All
long I gotta.
He said that about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been basically sitting here the past 5 minutes watching Bigfoots in the bathroom. So.
Hey, Lunar.
Nothing too exciting.
Yeah. Bathroom camp.
So I
I'm out of the
figured
bathroom now. I'm in front of
Doing
the
the-
fireplace.
The only place you can get some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
Here you go, Lunar.
My wife's getting ready to go. to
Monster
work.
Rust, you want to race? Do some show and tell real quick for you before anyone else on the channel gets to see anything. Like one of the reasons why I was happy to hop in is the parts situation. I think we're getting a little bit better. Like I have some issues, unfortunately. So the supercharger kit is coming from Australia, and it'll be here for No Name National, but I don't know if it'll make it here for Power Torque. So yeah, it's getting better in the States. Like finally, like my Brembo brakes for the Supers here. My huge radiator came in finally. It's crazy. I don't know how we're supposed to be able to build things with everything.
Oh, don't worry, you won't be able to build things soon enough. Don't worry about it.
You gotta fabricate stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta make your own.
This
You
was
better have a
start
good
forge.
stash.
this was hard to get as it was. So
Well, that came from Australia too, or what?
yeah, this is an Australian company. These guys are
Plug and play that shit. I've heard really good stuff about.
you can't get much better. They're not sponsored, but
No, if anybody wants to check out how that stuff's hooked up, look up. What is it? The two oh god dang it. Mighty Car Mods.
yeah. Well, the cool thing about it is it does a really good job. It's like the Holly self-learning stuff is really, really good to a certain point. So you still need to get it on a tuner, but
Mhm.
That's beyond anything I understand.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I can appreciate it because I have a little bit of modern stuff in my life. I'm not just purely
Oh,
old
yeah.
school. Like
Modern things do work, though.
oh yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Most people are moving forward. I'm just trying to move backward again.
Well, I just
Yeah.
want to stay in one spot. You're just staying in one spot. You're not moving backwards. You're staying in one spot.
Well,
It's still phenomenal technology. You're not going backwards.
Right. No.
But once that shit breaks, man,
Backwards
you're
in
gonna be pulling
history.
your hair. That's the way it is, man.
I spent 15 years of my life, and I don't want to say I wasted it, but messing around 4-cylinders. And I'm like, man, my hands don't ever fit anywhere. It's such a pain in the ass, the accessory drive all the time.
Oh yeah,
I was-
sideways. Yeah.
We're doing SRT4 stuff and first gen Neon RT engine swaps, and they're fun little cars. They're like little go-karts, and they're super blast to drive. 36 miles to the gallon, 13s in the quarter.
The most radical car I ever drove was my buddy's CRX, like in late 80s. There wasn't a scrap of anything in that car that wasn't supposed to be there, and it had 320 horsepower.
That's like driving a roller skate with a rocket.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was terrifying.
Torque steer.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it.
So,
Mike.
Monster Rust, to kind of give this is, unless you're on Instagram and follow me, you haven't seen this. To kind of get an idea of the horsepower we're going to be making with the Supra. And I'm doing this one. Next year's going to be the Buick. I just couldn't get the Buick in time to get it ready for anything this year. Here's the tires for it.
Oh, those Toyos.
Toyo's are plates.
Nice.
They look
Nice.
direct. So.
Can you sink your thumbnail into them?
Yeah, oh yeah. They're
Are they nice and soft?
I got to put other tires on my other wheels just down to no name because
Now, how about your
I
axles?
wonder how long they're gonna last. That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say.
How long are your axles going to last?
No,
Oh.
the rubber itself too.
go behind. The only thing I got to do is I got to drop the subframe and stiffen it because it's not the axles or the differential that'll actually twist it right out of the subframe.
Hmm.
So.
Is that an independent rear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only you can upgrade it to the Ford 8.8s, but like there's only one company that does it, and you're going to shell out $10,000 for that kit. So
You know what happened with the Chargers? The Chargers were snapping their axles before they
Yeah.
got hard enough.
In 2009, they kind of revised that. I've been waiting for like almost 2 years for a 397 git rag out of a SRT for my 300.
that'll be
Because with 300's got a 306 in the back of it. Its best quarter mile time with full interior was 1280.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah,
with a
for
full
a big gangster car with a TV in the back of it.
It's a strong
Kid
car
seats.
too. Those
So-
cars have hit poles and people surviving them.
Mm-hmm.
So back in 1979, my mom ordered a brand new Mustang. It was like charcoal gray metallic with red interior, and she ordered it with the 4-cylinder turbo. And that was my first experience with the turbo. And
79, you said?
I think so. It was before
Yeah, that was
intercoolers
ugly.
and stuff too. They first time they ever really did it. But man, that thing, it was doggy, but once the turbo kicked in, it was just like you had a V8 in that car. It was a blast. I remember one time me and my dad were hot rodding it around, and then it's like we popped the hood and that turbo was just glowing. There's
dude.
everything in there because they didn't have intercoolers and stuff back then, I don't think. But,
The only thing that I want right now that's a 4-cylinder is I want to find a 5-speed manual turbo Dodge Caravan from the 80s.
yeah, like the one at Mopar.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, remember that? I was
yeah,
butting
you
out
went
over
on
it.
and on about that thing.
I'd rather have the 3.0. I'd rather have the
That's like-
6-cylinder version.
I'm like, this is so off the beaten path of everybody else because I
was like, Blake,
use the phrase
I
belly
was like,
button.
Blake, my car's over here, and he's like, but this is a turbo 5-speed Caravan.
Right. That was a good time at Mopars in the Park.
Oh, that was a blast.
You
Dude,
guys
it was
have a
good.
good one, man.
Hey,
Enjoy
Scott,
easy,
glad
guys.
you're
All
on
right,
here.
everybody.
man.
Next time.
Yeah.
Next time, man.
Have fun.
Yeah, maybe this year we won't die of heat stroke almost.
Man,
I
you
doubt
guys-
it. Every year, same thing.
When I was leaving, I signed up for Mopar Collector's Guide. I'm just sitting there just sweating to death, and I'm like, how am I going to make it back over by Ryan's place where we
Was it
parked
head
the van?
pounding?
It was, yeah. And a guy, it was the second time ever that I was ever recognized out in the wild. He goes, "Hey, Blake." I'm like, "Yeah, what up, dude?" He's like, "You want a beer?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah." Walked
You
right
wanna,
over
like,
and he had
12
Coors
beers.
Light. Yeah, we had a bunch of them with them. And he's like, "Yeah, I love watching you guys. I found you through some Canadian channel. They're way more popular than us. Not Coastal Auto Reaction, but
DD Speed Shop? No.
no, it's
Bebop?
Cold War Motors.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Cold War, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
like,
I
I
gotta
don't
be in
know.
the right mood to watch their videos because they're so
he said we
long.
popped up after them, and that's when he found us, and that was weird. It's like Patrick from Mostly Old Parts and Rust. He's the very first guy that ever bumped into me
Wow.
that I never knew from Adam. He's like, "Hey man, I love your channel. Thanks,
Yeah.
bro. Here's some stickers." He's like, "Can I get a picture?" I'm like, "Sure."
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Pretty sure Ryan was my first.
Oh,
You came to my house.
that sounds so bad, dude.
No, I think
Buster, you
first
said you-
YouTuber I met in person.
One of
you know.
us with the duster you found with the 360 in it.
Say what, Lunar?
I saw
You
some-
gonna let Monster rust in?
Let me see. Oh, I didn't even know he was there. Once again, not realizing things.
Hey,
Howdy.
I was just actually asking, what was the
All right.
what were we talking about? The 360 for 6K?
Oh, so I found a guy who's got the 74 Duster with a 360, not original engine. I believe the original was a 318. But yeah, got a 360 in it now. He wants 6K. From what I see, that
Is it
thing
green?
looks good. Nah, it's not green. They painted it a stupid ass color. Stupid.
Okay.
Like a burgundy with like gold flake on it. Stupid.
Hey, each their own, but whoa.
Whatever. It's just anyways. But I think for the price, yeah, man, send it.
What year is it?
It's 74.
Okay. It might be a
Well,
360.
it's the bastard child of the Dusters, but yeah.
It's the one
Duster.
that everybody wants to swap for clip off of.
Everybody wants the 70 through 72.
Yeah.
Dusters just fall out of the sky sometimes.
I was
Yeah.
on Wilburn. Like, it doesn't matter what it looks like.
You need
Just how
another
fast it goes. So if it's a
Right.
74, it doesn't matter as long as it can get down the track quick enough.
I've
I
only-
own a 75, and I thought of it as like, okay, I can hack this thing up. You know, it's just a 75. Nobody cares. And then I kind of started growing on me because 75 has 1 year only trim and stuff, and the slant six runs like a top, and the air conditioning works. And now I haven't touched that damn car. I just drive it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's the hard part when you get a car like that. Like my satellite, when I got it, we had the 14-inch magnums on it and just the flat satellite hood. You know, both hoods were painted to match the car when it's redone. And I feel guilty every time. Like when I put the Roadrunner hood on it, I felt guilty because, you know, the satellites are actually a little bit more rare of a car. You know, it's a factory air comfort package car, you know, but I'm like,
I'm definitely going
to put a big block in it.
It's not even just that you put a Roadrunner hood on it, is that you put the wrong year.
The 69, yeah.
Yo, Brian, if I can race any of your cars, I would want to race the Wile E. Coyote against the Roadrunner.
Oh, listen, we got to get a 440 in it. That engine, currently it's a dog. It needs a 440.
Mine's not a 440. You got the 383, I think.
Yeah, those are great. My buddy Roland has one of those. He let me drive it, and man, those engines they're fun.
So yeah, Ryan, have you sold Lunar any parts for?
No, not yet. You still got that 72?
Yeah, it's I don't sell anything.
Lunar never sells anything.
I just sold a 72 the other day.
Yeah, you sure did. That thing was crunched in the front, right?
Yeah, and I sold a 71 a month ago.
So when I started,
there you go.
When I started my channel, I had a 71 Firebird Formula 400. It had a 404 speed with 373 gears, you know, and my channel's name was Bigfoots and Mopars. And
yeah, I remember that one.
But I sold it to get the satellite. But my point was the reason I started off with a 71 satellite Sebring Plus 383 slapstick auto car. I bought like a shell. I took a front clip in the passenger door to restore TX, and you get the interior like I got a header panel, front valance. I bought a 4.4 block, and it was like I did with my 70 Cornet. I just was like so far from the end zone that I wanted something I could drive. So luckily, the guy I got the Firebird from took that in trade, and then I horse traded for the Firebird, and then I horse traded the Firebird for the satellite. But
man, I
started off with a 71 satellite Sebring Plus. It would have been a cool car. It was F7.
You need to buy my purple one.
Yeah, I can't.
That one ended up at Jim Bennett's. Who knows what's happening to that?
I would have liked to get that convertible Barracuda before you hacked it.
Yeah,
I got two of them.
From Uncle Tony's video, it looked like he had started kind of sanding on it and stuff.
No, he put the other hood on it that I gave him.
But the fenders and the rear quarter kind of looked like they were worked a little bit.
He pressure washed it.
Hey, what kind of Barracuda stuff do you got, Ryan?
Well, what do you need? I don't have much.
Well, then tell me what you got. If you ain't got much.
I don't know.
He's got
I'm going
70 Barracuda.
That's sold.
Oh,
I'm always trying to get Lunar to come over here to Texas to come get some Mopar stuff, man. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a car hunter, so.
I just got a 73 Charger sent off on a trailer on the way to Texas right now.
That Buick I picked up down in Texas has a little bit of rust because of condensation on the dash, which the windshield has to come out. But I mean, I patched that floor pan. I had it done in an hour, and I was able to put all the Dynamat in it. You don't get it's amazing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Too bad the interiors are all trashed. But
I had no interior, so it worked out great.
Well, the way it goes is, I mean, for the inside, you go up north. For the outside, you come down south.
Well, that's actually what I did. I put the full GS interior in it from up here, and the body from down there works out great. I have my bucket seats. Everything's nice in there.
Yo, I'm going with Classic Ride Society out there, the No Name National. So I'm not taking my own car, but when I'm talking my shit and telling you I'm ready to race, just know I'm pulling up in a U-Haul Chevy truck, dog. That's what I'm racing everybody in.
Hey, kill him at the tree, man.
Which one of your rides are you taking, Monster Russ? None of them. I'm taking a U-Haul.
Monster, get that fucker dialed in and kill him on the tree and win some bracket racing.
You've seen all them things of people stealing 6-liters out of U-Haul vans.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got. You can't see it over there, but I have behind the 1UZ. There's a cast iron 6.0. Those engines are phenomenal. You used to be able to pick them up for $350. Now they're out of control.
No way now.
Out of control. Hell, I use an old aluminum as my for underneath my my coffee table here.
I bet it's a bitch to stub your toe in your basement, Looter.
Oh yeah, no. Well, great is that because I have all the interior out of the Super. I have two interiors in case I had to hack it up to put a roll cage in it. I have the Buick engine that needs to start going together. The 440 that may end up having to go on hold. The Super just blew my wallet out.
I've got the perfect use for my LS motor, a 5.3. It's going to pull my race car.
There you go. When I
Careful trying to pull that thing with an enclosed trailer. If you do, it's like pulling a parachute.
Yeah, I made a comment during my call out for Tony about how I had mods coming, and I'm glad, like I was saying, they're finally coming in. Jeez, when did I do that call out? It was November, right?
Yeah, it was around November.
Yeah, I had all those parts ordered, and I mean, it's waiting to see all the parts coming for it, and they're just now coming in. It's nuts.
Yeah, man. Tell me about it.
Back order.
Terrible.
I get
We
people
had
asking
of
me
our
all the
parts
time.
ordered months ago, and we finally got everything we need, and then blow the damn car out.
I get people asking me all the time if I actually have the parts that I say I do. I'm like, I sell used stuff. There's no weight on that stuff.
Right.
I got almost 1,400 used Mopar listings on eBay. Anything that's on there, I have.
Yeah, I've checked them out. You got a lot.
Yeah.
You know what's pretty crazy that I just found out that maybe you guys might never use, but it's just some useless information to tell y'all. I just bought a Studebaker, right? So
nice.
it's a 63 Lark.
Okay.
So right, this is me just buying it impulse, and I was like, man, I didn't even think, because right now I have my 67 Ambassador, which is AMC, and I've 3-4 years already. I haven't gotten the rear windshield. That's all it needs. So I don't want to be. I didn't think about dealing with that again. I just bought it. So I was like, damn, I didn't know about how the part situation was going to be. Luckily, all the vendors from, I guess, the 60s bought out all the parts. And so there's no repop for Studebaker. It's all like original stuff. So when you go out there and you buy stuff, you're literally buying parts from like the 50s and 60s that are out there. So I was like, oh, that's cool. So that's tight. I didn't know that about Studebakers.
No Chinesium there.
No.
Yeah, Studebaker doesn't have a lot of aftermarket support.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Well, hey guys, it's been about 50 minutes in here, and I told Two Hacks I'd hop on with them.
All right, cool.
So I'm gonna dip out. It was nice hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Nice seeing you all.
Come on back if you want to later or whatever. Yeah.
You said you're gonna be up till like midnight or something.
Yeah, midnight or close to it.
Okay, I might pop in, but take care, guys. It was nice meeting you, Monster Russ.
Nice meeting you too, brother.
Be safe.
Yeah. So are you gonna be racing a Bottle Rocket?
No, he had the whole comment section, and then in the following live, he said he had no intention of actually racing me. So,
is he gonna race anybody with Bottle Rocket?
No, he's doing it for $4,000.
I thought for $5, but whatever. Is what it is.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was $5. I thought it was $2,500
with the U-Haul.
So
I have no idea how he expects Bottle Rocket to beat Casper.
All I know is if I had Bottle Rocket, I would race every damn thing just for it, just to blow the engine up, man, just for the glory of it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
All of y'all are Mopar heads, right?
Well,
yeah.
I'm actually a Pontiac.
Except for Lunar.
I like Buicks, Mopar, Supras. I want to. Oh, you know what I really want? Pretty much the only thing I don't have in my collection that I really, really want. I even love caddies, but I want a Opel GT, something fierce.
Oh, get the one from Be Restored, the one that I took to Lance and them out there in Bogota.
Oh man, I want one so bad.
Yeah, they got theirs out there. That's the car that got them like 25 million views.
Oh my God! Put a giant Hemi or something in it, or even a modern Hemi in it.
I'm gonna tell you that car. Like I sat in it. Yeah, that car's not meant for tall, big people.
Tiny.
Get yourself a Ford Capri, the one that rear-wheel drives.
Don't get yourself a Ford anything if you want any self-respect.
Oh, look.
Nah, I'm a GM guy, man. I'm mainly trucks.
I don't know if there's gonna be very many trucks at No Name. I don't know of very many.
This shouldn't
Well,
be called
is
No
it
Name.
Joe-
This should be
is
called
it-
the Mopar Nationals.
Isn't
No, that's
Mopar
in
Joe
Ohio.
bringing a truck?
I don't think it's going to be as Mopar heavy as people think. I just think we're the prevalent guys that started out. It looks like there's a lot of new stuff coming down the line. You know, I see a lot of like there's starting to be some like LS turbo cars and stuff like that that are going to start showing up.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, from what I've seen so far, I see mainly Mopar people, but I mean,
But
you
I
know,
think you're going to see a lot of high dollar cars come out there too.
I'm just trying to stay open-minded if anybody's going to challenge me to a race. There's only one person that challenged me to a race, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
that was Jim Bennett. So
it's all right, man. I'm
You know-
sponsored by U-Haul, so I'll race anybody now.
I'm going to get beat 3 times for sure. So I'll race you, Ryan.
Yeah, that's what I was
we'll
about
do
to
it.
say. Why don't you race Bigfoot?
I
I
was
do.
about to
I want to
say,
line up. I definitely want to line up because it's going to be a photo op for that. You know.
Oh, yeah.
60s Mopars lined up with like 60s styling.
right,
You got,
like
Chris
70s
Keith
street
will bring
freak
his
sort of
band,
thing, a
right?
little bit.
That's actually why I chose the Supra, because I knew it'd be the only import. There's a couple other imports, but they're putting LS engines in them. So I don't,
So
Yeah.
they don't count, right?
no, I don't think they count. It's like putting an LS in a Buick. It's not a Buick anymore if you put an LS in it.
For a while there, I
Still a
felt
Buick. It's a GM product. General mistake.
for a while there, I
GM
felt
products
like
are
the odd man
confused.
out.
They share everything with each other.
GM is
Tell that-
GM.
Buick community, they will drag you to hell themselves.
When you pop the hood of a GM, you never know what brand engine is going to be underneath it.
I'm so tired of seeing like 60. There's a guy who wants like 48 grand for like a 67 GTO, and it's got a 383 stroker in it. I'm like, there's no way that's even worth 20,000 now. You know, you got
It's not
a
even the
Chevy
original
383
motor, right?
stroker in it. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
And then when I was at Street Machine Nationals, almost all the 67 and 66 like GTOs had big block Chevys in them, and I'm like,
Wow.
Gary just built a
I want to see
500
Pontiac
horsepower
power in
400.
there.
I was looking at Gary's shop. He's got it's a purple metallic with ghost flame 68 GTO. It's actually pretty nice, except it's not my taste. But he just built in like a 500 horsepower 400 with stock heads, which most people can't do with aftermarket heads.
I don't get why people, very specifically the Pontiacs and the Buicks, why they would put a regular GM engine there, especially if it's on a 400. Those Pontiac engines breathe way better than a regular.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Gary said
And-
the biggest flaw were their heads. He said you put a blower on a Pontiac, and it's he's going to be building a 64 Tempest gasser for a guy, and he's doing a blown Pontiac engine, and he's
Well,
like,
maybe
"That's
just
gonna-"
the availability. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, really.
It's hard to
Just
get Pontiac blocks right now, at least up here. He had to search. The guy that brought him the GTO had split his block in half, and Gary was trying to find a replacement. He bought a 428, which has 4-bolt mains, but that one was shot, so he couldn't use that. He bought a 455 block, and he couldn't use that one either.
I
So
have
he finally got another 400 block and was
I have
able
a
to do
400
something.
block in my garage right now, not big.
Pontiac?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mid 70s.
Yeah. My favorite car was my 70 GTO. It had a 400, had a Lanati cam in it, aluminum intake, 4-speed with 391 gears. It was red with the whale tail on the back.
How
That-
far?
Nice.
That thing was a blast. It was a stump puller. It might have only made about 360 horsepower, but it at least had 500 foot-pounds of torque.
How far is it from me?
Who's that?
Your buddy that's looking for a Pontiac.
Oh, he's already done it. He's already got
Oh.
that engine in the car now.
I was gonna say you could have it.
Wow.
So.
I might take you up on that.
Be a
I'm gonna
long
get
drive.
Another Pontiac someday.
You gonna put that in the living room, Bigfoot?
I'm gonna get me another
Whoa.
Pontiac.
Yo, you see the
Is
LS
Vice
build
Grip
that they're
going?
doing with the Volvo? No, he's not. I just talked to him 2 days ago. He said that he can't make it because of his schedule.
Okay.
It's about the same time as I was gonna say Dipstick, but it's what's the
Duct
the
tape.
one? Duct tape. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he
the
was
same
just
time as
like,
duct tape, isn't it?
yeah, he
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at he looked at whatever calendar he had next to him, and he was just
So, like, I'm sure,
nope.
like Chris Birdsong and a lot of the bigger guys are going to go to duct tape because it's more of a, I don't know.
It's
Probably
I've been
popular.
trying to talk Chris Birdsong into it. I talk to him once in a while.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get Be Restored and them to try to go turn in Rust,
Mm-hmm.
but
I
we'll see it.
talking to a couple of guys that I'm acquainted with. They were initially thinking about it, but now we'll see what happens.
Lunar's a superstar, man. He's the one that's got the power to do it.
One of the things I think is going to be cool is I think this is going to be huge with the smaller channels. And then once that gets out to other smaller channels, that they know that there's like an underground for like those smaller guys. I think if they do a 2023, it's going to probably take off then, especially if they don't do it on the same weekend as duct tape.
And yeah, it all depends
Right.
on how this one pulls off. So
Well, I think
Yeah,
it's
as long
cool.
as nobody starts fighting or anything stupid.
Yeah, what I think is going to be cool is people, because right now, there's people who are new or whatever. They're barely getting to their 500 or 1,000 or whatever. But, who knows where they're going to be at in a year. And then that also shows, like, they're going to be making connections with, meeting people and stuff there. So you never know how things are going to go, who's going to be on top. I mean, right? And you just don't know what the future holds. But, I mean, I just think it's just cool in the fact that everybody who does YouTube gets to come together, and that it's motivating new people who weren't even into this stuff to actually do something, So it's just cool overall. Like, it's a lot bigger than just, who's big coming, but it's like, yo, what are you working on? Hey, I'm over here. Or, hey, I have this part that you can have, or whatever. It's just the community just gets that much stronger, it's awesome.
I've been
Well,
on YouTube like 7 yekind and I joke that I've got 20 subscribers, and I feel that that's true. It's like when I go to my comment section, I kind of depend on the same guys to be in there. The guys that I go into live streams with, they're usually in the chat area with me.
Moparnet.
Yeah. So, and that's why I've been doing it as long as I have. And I've always said, like, all I do is throw up pictures of my own cars on my TV so I can watch it during the winter. Really give no shits about like growing a channel, but I just was so happy that I happened to have enough to be able to enter this.
Oh yeah, and it's amazing. The community you get to form around you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
people you get to meet. I mean, that's why I do the lives. It's not for me. It's that I have conversations with guys that pop in the live. Great, wonderful.
Well, like right now, I'm not too familiar with this guy, unfortunately. I'm gonna have to check out his channel. But like Lunar, I followed you for a while, so now here I am talking to you. Nut, I always enjoy talking to him. And then Ryan, I got to meet him in person. Turns out we're neighbors, and that's freaking cool.
25 miles apart.
I'm subbed to Monster Rust. I'm pretty sure I'm subbed to him.
Mopar's
But I'll
moving.
check it out.
Mopar Nut's moving to Minnesota, so
No, I wish I could.
Please do.
I would do it in a second.
Please
I
do.
would do it in a second. Now I can play with Jack Pine.
Whenever I see somebody like what'd you say?
Oh, Mopar Nut's not too far from me, right?
No, I'm
New
in
Jersey.
Jersey.
So you're
AKA hell.
Yeah, I'd be watching Lunar, and Lunar's like, man, I just got done pulling this engine or whatever, and I'd be like, man, you know what? I gotta go back and wrench, man. And, I turn around and, after, so to me, it's also motivating just seeing somebody else doing something. It's just like, man, they're doing it. I can't be wasting time. I gotta get my stuff done,
That was the whole point of me starting my channel, just to get my ass off the ground.
Right?
Start working on shit. You know what I mean?
100%.
This whole No Name Nationals is definitely trying to keep me working on the Belvedere. If it wasn't for it, I probably wouldn't be getting as much done on it.
Yeah, because it pushes you, gets you out there.
Gives you a deadline.
And now there's an expectation from the people watching, like, hey, what's up with it, and you'll know commenters will be on your ass. They'll be like, hey, what's up, homie? We've been dry for about a week or two. Like, what's up? You posting or what's good?
Hey, yeah, Lunar gets the another project. You haven't finished the last project yet. Hey, why do you need a project now?
That's like me.
I've been playing with some things. Like when he first announced the No Name Nationals, I did put the hashtags on some of my videos, and I noticed that I did get a little bit of a spike, and I did gain some subscribers, but I would lose them just as fast. So I kind of I just took off all the tags, and I haven't posted a video for a month, and I gained like 14. So
Wow.
my strategy is if I don't post any videos, I'll keep gaining subscribers.
I had like 14 subscribers in the whole week now, and I went down from 14 back to 7, and back and forth, back and forth. I never get any further.
Yeah, YouTube. I don't
I
know
gained
what
like
it is.
20 in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Well, someone said they
should
go
have
through and they
banned,
authenticate. They authenticate to make sure they're real accounts, and if they're not or they're inactive,
Right.
then they take them
The
down.
other thing
Well,
is too, you can't like in the chat, people. I don't know. I've always heard this. I don't know if it's true or not, but that like they can't say the word or type in the word sub.
Nope, you gotta type in
subscribe.
scrub or bananas. There's this one like from I can't. It's an Asian country, and they all get bananas. They all let's put down bananas, and that's how they say sub.
I don't know. I just tell my subs to say slutty.
Yeah, that's fine. Any word but the SUB word. You know what I mean?
So
Because the algorithm works that way. And then if you sub to somebody, right, and you don't like it and you don't like their channel, they'll automatically take you out.
Yeah.
Well, and then there's one thing I do too is like I haven't subscribed to Vice Grip for a long time. I actually, he was a nice guy when I met him at his car show and stuff, and I kind of feel bad about that. But the irony is, every video I watch, they put one of his videos on behind it anyway, and I get so tired of it. I'm like, you know, I when I want to watch that, I'll watch it. You know, don't keep like putting other people like it's either him or DD Speed Shop. They're like the automatic feed on my channel if I watch a video and I stop. But that's how I guess the algorithm works too. You know.
I think it would, but the way they do it is through. I mean, you know, right? Like most people, that's who they click after they watch whatever video. So that's the reason why it does that. Sometimes like I'll get lucky, like my Lark video, I threw it up and one day it had like 3,000 views, you know, and that was really random to me. I was like, I guess, but then I checked it was, you know, through YouTube suggested. So sometimes, you know, you don't, it's not to say like, oh, there's no you know, method to this. It's just
no formula.
Reason, man.
There's no formula.
How much you like? Look at me driving down. Like, I didn't go down and pick up the car for content. I picked up the car because I've been wanting one of these Buicks for a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, out. So that that thing's pretty much just stopped at 17,000. Like I was kind of hoping it would go a lot further than that, but I paid $500 for that Buick Electra, and that thing just broke 100,000. I went to a salvage yard or insurance auction to look at a 68 Camaro, and that thing went nuts too. You just never know what's going to get back.
I wish I would have bought that Camaro.
Yeah, it went for stupid.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
So I read a book by this guy, Andy Finkbinder, about how to build a big block Mopar. And it was right when everyone was waiting for Trick Flow to drop the 270 heads for Mopars. So I knew they were coming out, and I just kept search. As soon as some came available, I got some. So I was like the first one to get one of the first ones to get a set of Trick Flow 270 heads. But the irony is that guy Andy Finkbinder put up a video where, you know, he dynoed there's a 512 stroker with the Trick Flow 270 heads, and he's the guy that like I looked to learn how to build engines and stuff. I didn't build my engine though, but my video of my engine on the dyno actually is beating his out. And I'm like, that's insane, you know. That's his was like he's the guy that like should have got the credit for that. But it was timing. It was just timing.
You guys get to see that LS Volvo swap that's happening with the 9 YouTube channels?
Yet? I know it was a bitch getting it out.
Yeah, no, not yet. I think it's in a few weeks. Or no, it's in a week. I think next weekend on the
Right.
11th.
But did you watch them take the engine out?
Yeah, I saw what the aftermath of what it looks like. I saw how they
Oh
painted
man,
it.
we were
Looks
dogging
clean.
them like crazy through that whole live, man. We were all dogging them because it took them that long. I think it was almost 2.5
Oh,
days.
Cletus, right? Yeah, it took
Yeah,
him. Yeah,
Cletus.
I was
I
like,
was
bro,
like, oh
it
my
should have been
god.
an
When they
hour.
didn't take the torque converter bolts and they had to go under to get the torque converter bolts, that was it for me. I was like, what? That's like the
Destroyer, what
first
up,
thing I
Eric?
touched. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
I'm like, I gotta get the torque
I
converter
got
bolts.
stuff to do in the morning, but it was an absolute pleasure, guys.
All right, cool.
Later, Lunar.
Later, brother.
Take it
Thanks.
easy, Lunar.
But yeah, that build's gonna be crazy. So I'm
That's nuts.
just curious to see all the channels, working together and stuff, and that just shows what the the YouTube community can do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
Yo, so Mopar Nut, would you happen to have a K member for a big block?
For what car?
For a Duster Demon.
No, not for Duster Demon. No. I got B body. What do you call K members? Not for Duster.
Yeah, that won't work.
No. I got a slant 6 one you could hack up if you wanted to.
All right, I'll talk to
You
my
could use
bro.
You could use Schumacher. What do you call? Mounts and put a big block on a slant 6 K member. But you should be able to find one locally though.
Oh no, God no.
No.
I haven't been able to find. No, I haven't been able to finding all the small block ones, but I haven't found a big block one.
Oh. Well, you're gonna have to go with the mounts. Just
Yeah.
buy the mounts and use whatever you got. Because they're
Mhm.
back in business. Schumacher's back in business. Talk to Johnny Mopar. It's his buddy.
Johnny Mopar. Okay, I'm a Chevy guy.
Talk to Johnny Mopar. You look up Johnny Mopar's channel. Go see his. He's probably got his email on there somewhere.
I think what I'm
Email
going to
him
do, I'm going to be probably buying one set of the Schumacher motor mounts because they're stronger than the stock ones. But then we're going to do a solid mount on the driver's side.
Yeah, that'd be cool. You gotta have at least one flexible one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then the
great.
Jack Pine also had a torque strap that Andy had custom made. It looks pretty nice too.
The
That
Jack
bolts
Pine
to the
uses-
block.
Jack Pine uses biscuit style, right?
As far as shoe mount,
That mount.
yeah.
That's the biscuit style with the 2 bolts coming out.
Appreciate you.
Andy didn't know it, but he was in for a world of hurt before the engine lost oil pressure. Because I was just looking at the fuel system he had set up, and it wasn't giving the engine enough fuel, so it was running lean and it was detonating. And then it had rubber motor mounts, even with the torque strap, they were shelled, so they were about ready to kind of give out too. So it's kind of a good thing the engine came out.
There's an old poly mount. They got new poly mounts. They're interlocking with the poly.
Yeah,
And they're stronger.
that's what the
They have an
Schumacher is,
interlocking
right?
part.
An interlocking one.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Johnny Spiva makes them too.
Mm.
Guy named Johnny Spiva. He makes them for the because the mount is the same exact mount that is used on the trucks. Like my Ram Charger, those
Yeah.
mounts will fit a B body in 66, 70, 72.
Mhm.
Past 73, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Then you go into a spool mount,
Mm.
which is what I got on my Dart. I got a 72 Dart with spool mount because I had able to get a $200 Dart Sport.
One of the things is the Jack Pine has those bolt-in older Mopar Performance skinny little subframe connectors. You know the ones I'm
Yeah.
talking about, Mopar Nut?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the car does have a little bit of a gangster lean, partly because of the super stock springs, but I kind of wonder too if those this engine's definitely bigger and torqueier than the
I cut
440
them
they
out.
used to run. So
I cut them out and make my own.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing the Chris Birdsong style,
Right?
kind of
Cut
that
'em
goes
out.
through the torsion bar mount.
Yeah, make them like that.
I
Really
thought that might
strong.
help the car launch faster. You know,
I
'cause it's
just
probably
don't like the ones that fit the floor. You
No.
see the ones that fit the floor?
Well, Gary did it on my Cornet. He spliced through the floor.
Right. But I don't mind splicing to the floor with a square tubing one.
Mm.
Okay. But the other ones, they actually are cut to fit the floor.
Oh, the U.S. Car Tool ones that Jed
Yeah,
used?
US car tool ones. Yeah.
What year Cornet do you got?
Me?
Yeah.
I have a 67 now. I had a 70, but I traded it off. So
Nice. Yeah, you don't see those as much.
yeah,
I like them.
I thought I came out ahead on that deal though, even though the
Oh yeah, because all the work. Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean
You
that
beat
car.
that work
There
to
wasn't
death. Now you
there
don't have to
wasn't a
do any
square
work.
inch on that 70 that didn't have a dent.
Right.
But it went to the right guy. He's a body guy, and he's a master metal worker and stuff. But Moperna, did you see the subframe connector set up on that Duster on that video that I put on the group?
With the purple engine bay, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see how he did the tunnel there?
Where's that at? Is that on
It's
YouTube
in,
or-
it's in
The
Telegram.
The Telegram group.
Oh,
I put a
Okay, yeah, I
like
gotta
a
check
little
that out.
preview.
I'll check that out.
But I was expecting him to have done it like he did my Coronet, but he didn't. It's a really weird kind of setup. But he built that car to run 9-second quarters, and he was going to put a full interior in it. So the way he did the roll bar, you'd be able to access the back seat too. So
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen them do it where it goes all the way through the body, the tubing, okay, and then actually have like outriggers.
I was going to ask him about. I think he did the subframe connectors through the rocker panels because that's what the cage connects to. I've actually got a
Really
set of those subframe connectors that go through the rocker panels. I originally bought those for my satellite. I didn't know that they were supposed to go through the rocker panels. And then I nixed that idea because I didn't want to mess with the perfect rocker panels on the satellite. So then I
But
bought
anytime
the
you're doing
Mopar
that, you're going
Performance
to change that thing around.
ones.
I'm gonna have to
And
do some
any-
kind of subframe on my Belvedere, some kind
I've got a
of
pair
subframe
of those
connectors.
Mopar subframe connectors that I
Yeah, you
didn't
don't have to-
use.
You don't have to go all the way. You don't have to go like with the biggest ones. You could go in the medium version.
I think
No,
I think the power level you're going to be at, Ryan. I think the kind that I have on the Jack Pine would be a good deal, and you could burn them
Yeah,
in
adequate.
instead of just bolting them in.
Yeah,
Yo, Ryan, on your Belvedere, what motor are you putting in it?
440.
Oh, that's gonna be sweet.
But it's going to be like a 9-to-1 compression, right?
Yeah,
9.5.
Because
That's gonna
the
be-
Belvederes don't weigh that much, right?
I think
Total
38.
after everything, it'll be about 3,500.
34, 35. I think you're.
Yeah,
What do you think
34,
that 440
35.
power
Yeah, that's
wise?
not too bad.
How much power do you think that 440 is going to put out?
I'm shooting for 5, but I don't know. Depends on the cam and everything I get going. But the
Yeah.
big thing will be I'll be putting some sort of a shift kit into the transmission, as well as I've got the 456 gears,
Yeah.
which would be
So-
good for the 8th.
Yeah, she should hook. Really
Mhm.
good.
Cool.
I've got 275 60-15 drag radials. They barely fit, but they will.
Are those 28 tall? I don't know my numbers.
27 and a half.
Yeah. Because the Jack Pine's got 29s and the passenger side rubbed, so
Yeah.
we got to figure that out too. I think if we stiffen up the chassis, that'll do away with that too. Because I think
Yeah,
there's enough
probably.
room. I hope
I still
don't
got
have
to do
move
a
the
lot of
axle
stuff
back.
to that car.
Huh?
I got to do a lot of stuff to that car coming soon, but it's been because I want to blast the front end of it just to make it all nice and clean so I can paint the engine bay and get an engine in it and everything, and then take care of the bodywork kind of after. But
If don't,
it's been so muddy that I can't even get the car out of the shop.
Yeah, don't even talk about rain.
Yeah.
I put up a short today
Bless
and it was snowing, sleeting. So
Oh, it was, yeah.
yeah.
Ryan, you got any?
If I
uh,
oh,
go
go ahead.
I didn't
No,
say
You're
no.
that.
going to have that
Oh,
car
no, I was-
painted?
Yeah, painting it white.
No, I was saying if you had any parts for sale for a demon.
That's a 1 year
some
only,
stuff,
right?
Not much. I don't get into the A body stuff too much. The only A bodies I've ever had, I've cut up.
Wow.
I used to
Oh,
joke
seriously.
around about that too.
I mean, I ain't a Mopar guy, man. I'm a Chevy guy, so I'm not offended.
I cut apart a 70 Duster former drag car, but I shouldn't have probably done that one.
Yeah, you should have saved that
Factory
one.
yellow with black interior.
Dude, have you seen the price of like Dusters nowadays? Just because of recent interests, I looked,
dude.
and it's like,
Dude,
my God,
oh my God, there was one in the junkyard for $1,200, and I didn't buy it.
The very first car I almost bought when I was 15 was a 74 Duster. It had a dented-in rear quarter panel. It was B5 blue with a white top, white interior. It was a 6-cylinder car that they put a 318 in, and it was pretty healthy, you know. But the guy wound up owing his landlord some money, so he got the car for his son instead. I was like, But yeah, $400 for a Duster.
Yeah, that's a good price. That's a good price.
Nobody in my high school would have been seen in a Duster or a Nova, you know.
Yeah.
See, the 74 Sport that I bought for $200, I couldn't take it out of the junkyard because here in New Jersey, if they don't have a title for it, they won't let you do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was the other reason I got rid of the 70 too, is because it didn't have a title, and it was just going to be a pain in the ass.
Right.
So,
I had a U-Code 73 Charger that I had to do the same thing to because I didn't have a title.
Yeah.
So,
Man, if y'all need titles, let me know. Hit me up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do y'all watch what's his name? That big Mopar guy. Man, where's Graveyard Cars?
Yeah, Mark
Oh
Warman.
yeah. Mark Warman.
Yeah. So hey, I kind of get confused because I see like I guess I don't know his YouTube channel. They kind of post like the same stuff over and over again.
Oh yeah, they're behind the times on that.
Their YouTube channel is way backed up, but if you have Motor Trend, they're on Motor Trend.
So he's not a YouTube guy. I don't know much about him, man.
He reposts his stuff later on YouTube from previous seasons, but he actually has an actual television series called Graveyard Cars.
Oh,
if you don't watch out while you're watching that show, you'll accidentally see a car.
You know the
They're
price
coming out
of
in a new season right now.
Restorations, right? You know what those restorations start out at? The price, right?
No. Yeah.
$250,000.
How much?
$250,000 to walk your car into the door, man.
Same with Can Dig It. Can Dig It if you don't have like 250.
Yeah, $250,000.
You don't walk in the door.
But Can Dig It's got a 2-year waiting period, though.
Yeah.
It's not
that one.
It's not $250,000 at Graveyard though.
You don't think so?
No, I've talked to Mark Warman before.
What do you say?
Depends on the car, anywhere from like 75 to 100. Depends on the car.
No, that's a pretty hard hit.
Yeah.
Side note, you guys remember Fast and Loud?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did like a green 71 station wagon or something with a supercharged engine.
They did a green everything. They love the color green.
Well, anyway, they took a crate motor and they threw a blower on it and they sold it and they were bragging about how powerful it was. Well, that's over at Gary's right now, and that engine didn't live more than like a month because it was a high compression engine. They had the wrong rings and everything, and so the guy's paying Gary to rebuild the engine right now.
Yeah, if I could just have anything done.
All those car show things, man, I hate them because like they throw them together for the show. They don't care if they're actually going to work or how they actually are built underneath, as long as the paint's shiny and it photographs well.
If I could have anything done by somebody though, I would like to have Gene Winfield do a chop top for me.
Oh yeah. Well, which car are you gonna choose? What car would you choose?
Man, I think to be different, I'd have to go with like a Studebaker.
That'd be cool.
Just different.
49 Mercury or maybe 70 Cuda.
No, don't mess with the Cuda.
Yeah.
I got a 68 Cougar.
I like the Cougars better than the Mustangs.
Yeah, same.
Kind of like I like the Firebirds better than the Camaros. They were like a step up in trim and styling. I always thought.
I'd take a Pinto over a Mustang.
Yeah.
Oh man, Pintos are pretty fast cars when they're drag cars, dude.
I'm working on it, but I might be this close to getting a Pacer.
Oh
wow!
I'm trying to do a Wayne's World.
Yeah.
You could do a Wayne's World. You could do a drag car out of it. That would be crazy. A drag car out of it.
I
Put a
don't know
big
what I would do
gigantic
with it.
wing on the back with all the bracing.
It might end up being my little bro's first ride. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
There was an episode of Pink's All Out where a guy had like a totally hopped up pacer,
Oh, I
and he was
remember
actually
Pink's.
kicking ass. I think he wound up winning or something too. I'm not sure, but it had, I don't know if it was like a blown engine in it, like a supercharged engine or something. But it was
Remember
insane.
Bull Run? Anybody remember Bull Run?
That sounds
Mr.
familiar.
Angry, the Charger, Mr. Angry.
I don't know.
Nobody remembers it. Wow.
Probably before my time.
I miss
Yeah,
Speed.
might remember
I
from
always
my time.
liked Speed Channel better than like Velocity. They got swept under when Velocity
Yeah.
formed, but I liked
Oh.
Pastime. That was a fun show.
Ooh,
You guys
yeah.
ever watch that?
What was that channel that had the three shows, the three car shows on every Saturday? Damn it. It's been a long time.
But Pastime, where they had the three guys, there was a game show, and you were going against their house guy, and so it was like two contestants. And you guess what? The guy would come up and give you a synopsis of his car, and you guess what kind of time he was going to run. That was
Remember
my
Car
favorite.
Warrior?
No, it's called Pastime. I think there's episodes on YouTube. It was an awesome
yeah,
show.
Pastime was cool too.
The one that
That was
I'm
cool.
the one that I'm really not sure what I'm gonna do with that. It seems to be out of all the rides that I've got, it just seems to be the one that gets the most attention everywhere, which is pretty weird. But it's my my postal Jeep.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, yeah, from '75. I don't know what it is, and I
What?
it's just
the one with the bad starter?
yeah, the one that you were there.
Yeah,
The one
yeah, okay, yeah.
When I
Oh, my
did the
God.
live, when I did the live,
Yeah, with
and I
that
was-
damn stupid Ford starter that was grounded to the freaking frame with the hot. Yeah, good
I was
job.
just, I was just like, hey guys, if it works, it works. But
That was cool though, man.
I didn't think that Will It Run, that live one, was gonna work like that. I was like, all right.
He had the
well.
hot. He had the hot grounded to the frame. So when he went to hit the starter, it was Spark City, dude. Sparks going on everywhere. Man.
So Heavens Mopars there says, he has that 62 Lancer, and he showed a picture of what he wants to do with it, and it was like a custom car show of one with a chopped top.
Right.
And I was like, man, that thing was sexy.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well-
I never knew I wanted a 62 Lancer, four door.
I don't know if you guys remember Hot Rod, the show with the big fat dude. Remember American Hot Rod?
Lucky.
No,
Lucky
I think
Costa?
are you talking about
Hot Rod Garage.
Hot Rod
American
Holly?
Hot Rod. American
Oh.
Hot Rod. With,
Yeah, is that
Boyd
with,
Coddington.
Boyd Coddington?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
built the Chazoom. The Chazoom was a Cadillac, no, a 57 Chevy with a CUDA roof. Had the roof off of a CUDA.
Wow.
I'm just doing that for Ryan.
There was a
mad.
guy that was gonna buy my CUDA and LS swap it. I shot that
Oh.
down so quick.
The only crazy thing I can think that we've done, we kept
There
the
he is.
GM,
Don's there.
but
Don's here.
we had a 55 Chevy pickup, and we put it on a Cadillac Eldorado frame, and we put the Eldorado dash in the truck in the 55.
Wow.
So that's
What'd you do
the
with the
only.
front wheel drive part?
There's a little converter part that you can turn it into rear wheel drive.
Yeah, I had a Tornado with a 455.
The first car I
Yeah,
ever
that's-
drove. I think I was like 10.
Classic Ride Society just found a Tornado in the junkyard.
Yeah, you see what how do you call Jay Leno did with his, right? With his Tornado. He really did that car
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I had the same exact year.
I don't remember what year my uncle's was, but it was a 2-door. I think it had pop-up headlights and it was more
And it has
square
the-
shaped. But
The speedometer goes like a roll, like a
okay.
scroll.
That was an
When
earlier
you
year.
go down the
Yeah.
road, it starts moving up.
That's
And
cool.
you're like, what?
That's cool.
That thing's nuts, man.
One thing one thing that we did do that was pretty cool off of like the Mopar stuff is we took out the push button ignition, and we put it in a 61 Apache truck, which was pretty cool. Like that made me really want one of those push. Like it's just cool to have. Like you don't see those push transmissions.
Yeah, you don't see them. It's a little tricky. Most people don't know how to set them up. The cables.
Apparently, I need to be doing lives more. I started this live with 617 subscribers. Now I'm at 624.
Nice.
There you go.
It's like cool.
Yeah.
Yes,
From
sir.
now on, you got to do live at least twice a week.
Yeah, right. Maybe once a week.
Well, most guys do them on the weekends, and like I said, that one weekend I work. Like tomorrow night,
Right.
isn't John Wilburn's No Name National thing tomorrow?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be. It's right when I go to work, and I'm like, it's gonna be the busiest time of my job too. It's like
I'll
7
definitely
o'clock.
go back, yeah.
Watch it, but I always.
Hey, brothers.
Hey,
I gotta
see you
go.
later.
All right. Take
Thank
it
you
easy,
for
man.
Yeah,
having
no
me.
problem.
Yeah, have a good one. Appreciate you, Ryan, for letting me jump on.
Yeah, thanks. No problem.
Y'all have a good one.
Later, man.
I sat at the charge desk, and I put my phone there where it's kind of playing but not loud, but I always have to leave my desk and jump into different stuff. And then I try to get back to it, but it's kind of hard.
So where do you work? Do you work in an emergency thing or what?
Yeah. I work at a hospital here in Minneapolis in the emergency department. I'm one of the night charge nurses.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that job no matter what.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can work as much as I want. You know, it's crazy. You know, I get to where I just actually because it's been cold, I've been working a crap ton.
Well, that's good.
They just did away with our incentive bonuses and stuff. So, and it's starting to it'll start getting nicer. So now I'm not going to work anything above my scheduled hours.
That's cool.
But it's a good way to build up the war chest.
Yeah, well, with Mopar, you're going to need that.
Yeah.
Jed's coming in.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, Jed, what's up?
Hey,
Jed, what's
Ryan,
up,
hey,
man?
Mark.
Hey. Dude,
I
I got something I got to send you.
I was gonna say, hang on, I gotta call you Mr. Foots because that's your new proper name.
What is it?
Mr. Foots.
Oh, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody calls you that. So,
just
Oh,
Mopar
Don's
Joe.
here now.
Hey, there I am.
Just Mopar Joe called me Little Foots and Slow Pars.
yeah.
I'd like to get Joe in here, but I know he's busy a lot.
Yeah, and he's a family guy with a young baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
Like to get
only
Adam
in
time
here,
you're
too.
gonna find me free.
You got to take care of his hairdo, the ratatouille.
But Jed, I remember you were talking about you saw Barry Grant carved in the background of a guy's video or something.
Yeah.
Gary just took a Barry Grant claw carburetor off of a 68 GTO, so I thought maybe you'd like to see that.
Yeah. I want to get an old Barry Grant Holly, one of his actual castings, the BG carbs, to go with my original Barry Grant race demon off to the side of me. Because eventually, hey Raker, I want to eventually do a video comparing.
Raker.
I want to compare all those different Holly-esque carburetors.
Yeah. So Gary was trying to tell me the story of Barry Grant, how Holly wound up kind of suing him and taking over his company, and then something
More
to do
or
with
less.
he had to sign the license not to compete. So then he started Quick Fuel with his daughter.
No,
That's not
no,
it?
he didn't have anything to do with Quick Fuel. Quick Fuel was more of a that was a branch of Holly enthusiasts who got fed up working for Holly. Kind of the same thing that happened with Barry Grant. He left basically with the knowledge of how Holly carburetors work and started his own business, knowing he could make a better carburetor. What ultimately killed him at the end was he was a shitty businessman, and the quality started to drop because of that.
Yeah.
But his early stuff was just leaps and bounds ahead, like 20 years ahead of what Holly was able to do. But it's just like anything. All these little Holly-esque carburetors, AED, Proform, Quick Fuel, Demon, Barry Grant, because technically the Barry Grant carbs were a different deal than the Demon. What happens
Jake's
is
brand.
someone gets out on their own, they make a better carburetor than Holly. Holly goes, oh crap, we can't have that. And then they absorb them back eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought a Holly Quick Fuel 750 and that, I don't know if I just had it messed up out of the box or something, but that thing did not run worth a crap. It was about less than 2 years ago. I'm sure it was just user error, but
Well, the jack pine was running lean, and it had signs of some detonation and stuff. And when Gary took that 950 Holly apart, it had the jet extenders. Sorry, I'm trying to find a light. And the guy that had built the carburetor before we got the car didn't put the jet extenders back in it. And Gary had to do a lot of tweaking on that to get that carburetor to work pretty good. But I would love to have had a Quick Fuel 850 instead, but he got that singing pretty good.
The only reason why you need jet extensions is during hard acceleration, and you really only need them in the rear.
But they're back in there now, so we'll see.
I don't see how jet extensions can affect that.
They're running lean.
Yeah,
I don't know anything. He just mentioned all the stuff that was missing on the
jet
car.
further back in the float bolt. That's the only reason why you do it. Is you put jet extensions in the back, so that way when you hit hard acceleration, all that fuel sloshes to the back of the bowl, and that puts your jets there instead of up. I don't know how the fuck does jet extensions help me.
But anyway, also the fuel pump in the jack pine. He's got a 3-gallon fuel cell in the trunk. I just did a little short on it, and it goes out of the bottom of the trunk.
Wow.
And then it goes up. The fuel line goes up, and then it goes into one of those little plastic clear filters, and then the pump is mounted kind of high up on the in front of the axle. So it's kind of like the fuel's draining out of the tank downhill, but then it has to run uphill.
Right. Well, isn't that supposed to be at the lowest point?
Yeah.
So lowest point.
So that's one of the things we're going to do when we get the engine back in. Is Gary wants to do is he's going to do a dual blue pump type thing. So if one pump goes out, I've got another one. But that's one of the things we got to do is redo the fuel system, make sure it doesn't have any fuel starvation. So,
well, I'm just running a Carter super pump, and that handles everything I got.
Yeah,
that's probably the only Carter thing you like.
What's that?
I said it's probably the only Carter thing that Jed likes.
Yeah, it is the only Carter thing. I'm all about mechanical. I mean, fail safe. I don't want to trust anything to my vehicle being electric, especially like an electric fan, an electric fuel pump.
Yeah, you're listening for the electric fuel pump.
Yeah. I don't want to take a chance on anything electric in the car.
Well, that's why with the
I agree.
Satellite, I want to do the in-tank pump. You know, the that system I had up from Tanks Inc., where's the fuel pump goes in the tank, and I was going to do a return line on that. I kept that when I traded off the Cornet.
Yeah,
but figured to be quieter, run cooler. You know, it'll be a return system.
I'm all about simple, man. That single mechanical pump, it
can be swapped out pretty fast.
It's what Chrysler designed. That's what everybody was running, and it works. And I mean, it feeds my engine.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
that's
just like
what
everybody putting stupid ass 9 inches in their cars.
Yeah, I never understood that.
They think it's so much better.
Yeah, 1/4 of an inch.
Well, it's actually it takes more power to turn a 9 inch, and it's
more rotating mass,
stronger than an 8 3/4.
So I got that.
You talking about putting a 9-inch Ford, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got
a lot of Chevy guys love those 9-inch Fords.
I'm talking about
they don't got a rear
guys.
that can hold up. Ain't no GM rear strong enough for anything.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about Mopar guys taking out the Mopar rear ends and
Oh,
putting
no,
9
I would never do that. That's insane.
Yeah,
I'll put a Dana in there. I'll put an 8 3/4 in there, even an 8 1/4. But ain't no 12 bolt or 10 bolt going in there. Let me tell you that right now.
Oh hell no.
So the jack pine's got a 742 case with 430 gears, and that's what it was running, all these years. And then like Cuda Dan's like, well, with the power level you have, you're gonna blow that 8 3/4 up, you know. And then I'm like, he's got me worried about it. But then Gary's like, oh no.
What your engine make?
You know?
What did it end up making again?
It made 613 with about 620 torque.
No, you're not. You're right on that, Bird. You put a back brace on that 8 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
I know guys that are
1970
running
funny cars.
Hellcat with 8 3/4.
Yeah, 1970 funny cars were running 8 3/4.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it
Funny
comes
cars.
down to weight.
Yeah,
how
much your car weighs.
Oh, Bigfoot, you gotta
Like you
stop
can
eating
put an 8
donuts, right?
3/4 in a front engine dragster and have 1,200 horsepower of blown Hemi, and it will live. But you put it in a 6,000-pound car,
Yeah.
it'll blow up.
Yeah. So don't put them in a C body, right? Don't put an 8/4 in a C.
So my 4,000-pound 12-second car is not going to be a good place for it.
No, I think it'll be fine. Until you destroy it, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to brace it, I'd put a back brace on it, but I think it'll be fine.
Worry about it after you break it.
Cuda Dan's like, but then you got to go through everything because it'll take out your transmission and your engine, you know. And I'm like,
you're gonna have a loop and everything. You're gonna run that, so
yeah, it's got a rear and front loop. So
okay. And but if you do brace the 8 3/4, you're gonna have to make a jig to hold that thing.
yeah.
The welding alone will make it move.
Well, when I was under there today, I noticed it's got a leaking pinion seal anyway, so we probably need to take a look at it. So before we,
that's an easy one.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Ryan? This is your live.
Good. I'm just.
He's just listening.
He's starstruck now that you're here, Jed.
I'm just a normal dude.
Man,
Hey, any guy that's got carburetors in his bedroom is okay with me. That's all I gotta say.
wow.
He's got posters of you up in his shop, Jed.
There's only 10. There's only 10 carburetors in my office, my
That's
bedroom.
fine. That's good.
Oh, sorry. Here, I'll wave the smoke away from you, Mark.
Yeah. Jeez. No.
Yeah. Then I was over at Two Hacks there earlier. It's like, man, he just couldn't get away over
Hey,
there.
Brian's in here.
Oh, I'm going crazy over there.
No,
Two Hacks.
cool. It's like it's all of a sudden, like my granddaughter says, "Dad, you're a YouTube or Pap, you're a YouTube star." It's like, yeah, okay.
Hey, Brian, the Dust Devil, is there a? You see the link?
Yeah, I can drop a link in there again.
What's that? Oh, he's at work.
Brian's probably still at work.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He works nights, doesn't he?
Yeah, I
might
didn't make
have
it
something you'd be
to Two
interested in.
Hacks' live because I was still working out in the shop trying to repair a pair of tunnel ram carbs.
Wow.
Yeah, some guy left them sitting in a bucket of, I don't know.
Oh, there's Two Hacks.
What are the benefits of the 660 center squirters on a tunnel ram?
Well,
Is that really the optimal
See,
tunnel ram?
he just
Card?
goes
He's
and
got-
grabs one,
He's
okay?
got visual aids. He has visual aids.
so a 660, 1-to-1, it's just a fuel dumper.
Okay.
This is not a street carburetor. There's guys who say they run them on the street. Yeah, sure, you can. But when you got two of them, it's all or nothing.
Because
we're talking like what,
found
7
another
miles to
low
the
deck,
gallon? 6?
Is that
found
red
another
light?
low deck
Gives the red light a new meaning.
Yeah. One gas station to the next. That's about it.
That's all you're going to do with a 660.
That's back, and there was a gas station every 3 blocks.
Yeah. Because I
Don't
found a
worry,
guy
you'll be
who's
going
got a
fast
tunnel ram
enough
with
that you'll
dual
be able to coast to
660s.
the next one.
And I
much
was
does he
like,
want
I
for
think
the
that's the
duals?
combo people want.
Well,
So-
they're very desirable because Holly stopped making them.
Yeah.
And I got this one and another one. The other one in my garage is literally new old stock, basically. It
He
hasn't
wants
had,
like
it hasn't
wants
had
like
the choke
700 or
form milled
800
off
for the
like this
pair,
one has.
so
But if you're
but it
not
would be a
being
good setup
super-
for racing.
Yeah. There's no way to make this progressive or friendly on the street. This is just literally all business.
Kind of like
So it's
Predator.
basically all balls out all the time.
Yep.
Which is okay.
The
Dumping fuel.
well, and a problem that I gotta move back over here. So a problem that a lot of guys run into when they do tunnel ram carbs is they always go too big. A pair of 650s is on Jezebel's engine, and it feeds 634 horsepower, no problem.
Yeah.
And it would continue to support more power if the heads could support any more if I had them boarded. So a pair of 650s is really all a person needs. A pair of 650s will support about 650, 700 horsepower, easy. And you get more throttle response with the smaller board because it's less air passing through those Venturis. Now, with a pair of 750s, you might pick up maybe 2 numbers, but you're going to worsen that street ability in the same way if you went 2 850s. So it's not really over carbureting the engine because that's a complete farce. What you're doing is over airing the carburetor. You're putting too much air because you can meter the fuel, but you can't meter the air. And in the sense that the engine will also only take as much air in as it can handle. But you are then, when you open the butterflies, if your 650 has a hole this big and your 850 has a hole this big, when that butterfly's open, it's going to be sucking either air, say 650 CFM through a tiny hole, or it's going to be sucking, say, if it only can handle 650, it's going to be sucking 650 through a big hole, which is going to slow the air rate down, and you're going to
the velocity. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
you're gonna
You won't have a strong enough signal.
Yeah, the volume, but not the velocity.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So you'd be better off with the drivability on the smaller cars.
Yeah, like I'm kind of curious with the I ended up going with 750s for the W2 engine. Now it's only a 340, but it has W2 heads. It's going to flow a lot of freaking air. But we counteracted that with going to an annular booster. So technically they only flow about 720 a piece, but it's going to be operating in a much higher RPM band, which will support the big carburetors.
Cool.
I had a guy offer to sell me some W2 heads today. I don't know enough about them. He wanted $1,100. I don't know if that's a good deal or not. Yeah, W2 heads and headers.
Well,
I don't know what application.
Yeah, well, knowing what the application is kind of important.
Yeah,
but having the flanges is a big help. But as far as W2s go, there's like basically 4 variants,
right?
Roughly,
and these were brand new ones. They weren't like old ones or anything. So,
well, W2s are only old anymore. There's new old stock ones.
He said they were brand new. I don't know exactly what he meant by that, but
basically, I'll just say this: if they're bare, walk away. Because you want to find, like, I bought mine for $1,200, done with rockers, came off a running engine, low mileage, no port work, and with an intake, I got it for like $1,400 or $1,500. And that's a deal on W2s.
As long as it's all there.
Yeah. Because the rocker gear is extremely expensive. It's kind of a one-off deal. You have basically the Econo and you have the race head. Econos use a stock rocker shaft assembly, but with the offset intakes. And the race heads, they don't have stands. They actually have a bolt-on stand like a Max Wedge does. But yeah, they take their own headers, they take their own intakes. So if you don't kind of have everything, it gets really expensive. But there is no better small block Mopar head than a W2.
Jive high.
Relax.
Jeff,
Hey, man.
What's happening? How's it going?
He didn't want to hijack your live earlier, but nobody could get away.
Man, it actually really good. So that was Dr. Art's idea, and I'm like, sure. And I had a ton of people in there.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy about that.
I was still working technically.
No, that went good.
Yeah, that went really
good for your first time.
Wow.
I know, and the thing is like I am not a person that naps or sleeps a whole lot. I had just woke up because I was up way too late, no sleep, and I was like, sure, I'll do it. I definitely have to give Dr. Art credit for that.
For me, these live streams, the hardest part is I love being in the chat and all the little side conversations. And the way I've got it set up here, I can't see the chat.
Oh,
Same
Last
with
time I
me.
tried to do it, I booted myself out because I'm such a tech noob. I don't know much.
I just run both of them. I run the YouTube one and I run the Streamyard one. I go back and forth and I'll comment on the YouTube one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I finally buy a computer.
But I got a gaming computer, so I can do that.
Yeah,
I
when
got
I finally buy
to
a computer again, I'm gonna be a little bit more tech savvy, hopefully. But
another.
I haven't
cat.
had one since 2000 when I got done with school.
Oh,
Everybody needs a cat, right, Jed?
No,
yeah.
no,
Everybody
Dude, I
needs
got
a cat.
4 of them. All right, that's
no.
enough.
this one's attached to me. She don't
Just
like
say
to be far
no.
away.
You don't know what I got at my house, man. It's bad.
I got 2 of them.
I got 2 I didn't want.
You got one for your birthday, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I never said yes to any animal that come into the house. And she
I've got a cat and a dog.
She got me a cat for my birthday. She loves me that much.
I've got a Mrs. Foots, and she doesn't allow beasts into the house.
Except you, right? Only you.
How could you say no to this little face?
I sneak in when
Nah.
she goes to work.
Cats are cool, but I've never met a cat that's not an idiot.
Hey, Jed,
there's-
I got the
Oh,
chunky
wow.
version of that one. I got the fat version of that one, right? And if she doesn't know you, she's meaner than shit. She'll like if you were to walk in my house, she'd be like, "Oh, hey, like pet me." You get 2 feet from her, she turns into like the cat version of Cujo.
This one you got to be careful with because she's a polydactyl, and she's got 2 extra paws. She's got like little thumbs, and that
Oh.
just means 2 extra claws.
No,
Yeah.
honey.
Yeah.
No,
She's been inbred a couple of times. They have that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got that going for you.
That's the thing I miss most about having that shop out at Melody's. She had like those 4 dogs, and Duke, the black and white Great Pyrenees, he was my buddy. He would always come in and check on me. If I wasn't making noise, he'd hang out with me. So I got my dog.
Cats are cool, but in moderation. You know, when they're like
Yeah.
right in your face and they're trying to.
Dude, I got a video of a
Well, with
of
my
a cat.
with my 12-hour work shifts, cats would be the best choice because they can entertain.
Because cats are
themselves better
somewhat
than dogs.
independent.
Yeah.
They are
Oh,
independent.
they're completely independent. They don't care about you. Just put the food in there.
They do when you're here.
I've got it. My dog's a half lab, half pit, and he's very, very friendly if you know him. But boy, if he doesn't know you, he'll let you know. He doesn't bite, but he doesn't like. I live in a rural area, and he doesn't need a leash. He's one of those dogs that knows his boundaries. But if somebody he knows pulls up or gets out, he's all over him, and it's kind of nice having a dog like that. Plus, he's intimidating looking, you know.
Well, intimidating goes a long way with the dog.
But he's a cuddler. Like once you get to know him, like if Jed was to come over, he'd bark at him and be like, "Hey, who the hell is this guy?" 5 minutes once he realizes like he's not a threat, he'd be like, "Oh, hey, pet me. Hey, give me a treat. Like hang out with me." You know, like, "Hey, I got this tennis ball. Go throw it. I'll bring it right back to you." You know.
I bring you a tennis ball. Will you throw it for me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, dogs are cool. I've had dogs. I don't have time for dogs.
I don't either. I've never been a big dog.
Dogs
person.
are like
I don't
kids. They're every day. They're on a schedule. You gotta,
Well, like Melanie had
Oh,
10
yeah.
acres. She had 10 acres with the wireless fence, and her dogs were
Oh,
totally
so
happy.
Dogs wild and free there. I live in urban. And,
I live in a cul-de-sac.
I had one dog I could leave off the leash, but the other one was a runner, man. I'd put her on a cable because she chased anything.
I live in the land of your dog's barking.
My dog
Your
won't
neighbors
chase
always
anything.
complain.
My dog won't chase an animal unless he's told to. And part of that is I got him super young. He was 5 weeks old and worked with him a lot. But what's funny is when I first moved to where I live now, there's squirrels everywhere. Like, I mean, just everywhere. And he would try to get them. And then he realized there ain't no effing way. Right. And so now he just looks at them, just stares at them like, oh, there's one of those things.
One of my old cats caught a squirrel.
I had
Crazy.
a Springer Spaniel catch a blackbird out the alley out here once.
Wow.
Yep. I can. It was funny. It was a Saturday afternoon and there's no traffic. And there was a bunny out by a trailer at the neighbor's house. So we let the dog let the dogs, because she's always been on a chain. If she gets loose, it's like everybody grabs the leash and goes in different direction, you know. And we let her on this bunny, and it's like the bunny went under the trailer in less than 5 seconds. The dog lost it, and then we had a loose dog in the neighborhood.
Yep.
It's like, son of a bitch. We got over here, and there was a bird that was on the ground eating something out of somebody's yard. They put
Oh man.
out and shit. And my dog hit the bird, got about 2 foot off the ground, and she hit it. Man, the blackbird beak is about this big if you see it wide open. But it gave me time to get her collar, and I took her home. So, you know, kudos to the blackbird. But that's something I wish I could have got on video, but I was busy.
So 2 hacks. I shot a video of a 68 GTO today.
Oh, nice.
I was at my engine builder Gary's, and I don't know, it's been in the background of some videos, but one day Gary walked outside of his shop and there was a 68 GTO sitting there. He didn't know anything about it or who it belonged to, and it sat there for 2 days, and he didn't even know who it was, but some guy had referred him to Gary, and he just dropped his GTO off there. But it's pretty wild. It's got a $13,000 paint job. It's like
oh wow.
But it's like purple, and it's got a little bit of that. You remember how in the 2000s there was that paint that changed colors?
Oh, the chameleon.
He's got ghost flames with that like changing.
I saw
colors.
that.
It's pretty
Okay, then I
gaudy.
did see it.
It's pretty gaudy, but it's pretty. He split his block in half, so Gary had a hard time finding a Mopar or a Pontiac block for him.
Those are getting harder to find.
Yeah, he got a 428.
The 400s and
4
455s are.
and, that one wasn't good. And then he got a 455 block, and that one wasn't good. He finally got a 400, but this one had heads that were so ported that it had epoxy in them.
Oh wow.
But he made 500 horsepower with it. So
that 455 when
heads.
we tore it down, when it had problems, you know, it was a 71 455 block, and we ended up splaying it for 4-bolt mains, everything forged internal. Because my friend Kyle's got a massive lead foot, and if someone says red line at 4,000 RPMs, let's just say, 6,000, we're pushing it, you know.
Yeah.
So he like bulletproofed that motor. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pontiac's so he just no, and like we looked at, you know, he does have VFI on that. Sorry, Jed. But there's like data logs, and like
well, then you better
was
stop
looking
saying
at
ram air.
Yeah, I was looking at the oh, I know. I was looking at the data logs on it, and we were spinning that motor high. And we were talking tonight, and it's like, hey man, that EFI setup, it's got all these different ports. Get that shift light. You know, the one that's just you program, it's just gonna blink, you know, so you know. You're not just tearing that thing up.
If I need some sort of external device to tune something, I really don't want it.
Same. I actually filmed a video today when I was working on these two 750 tunnel ram carbs. And they're real Holly dedicated tunnel ram carbs. They're 6109s. They're kind of special and rare nowadays.
Yeah.
I made it a fair point. The people who love fuel injection, good for you, but you're lazy. That's all it is. Fuel injection is for lazy people, because I held up a flat bladed screwdriver and a Phillips head screwdriver and said, this is all you need to tune a fucking carburetor. This is all you need.
You
So
want
I
to
had a
come to
video
your mind then?
And a bag full of jets.
Well, yeah. Bag full of jets, technically, yes.
I had a video up for a while. I went to the dyno with Gary, and the guy had a 383 stroker. And Gary's like, you know, it's going to make about 420 horsepower. And he goes, but when we break it in, we're going to use a carburetor. And the guy's like, well, I want to get he bought it's probably one of the worst fuel injections too. It was the Edelbrock one. It's the one where it's got the rails that shoot into the manifold or something. But it's got a horrible tuning setup. It's like it looks like an iPhone, but it's not. And it's not got all the options that some of the other more modern ones have to do the tuning.
Yeah, if you don't have a fuel table, it's kind of hard.
So we broke the engine in on the dyno, and it made 420 horsepower. And the guy was tickled to death, and he couldn't wait. And he goes, "Let's switch, and get the Edelbrock fuel injection on there." And it washed out the cylinders, and the engine took a crap. But Gary's like, "Yeah, he goes, it's going to make 400 horsepower with the fuel injection." He goes, because he sees an average of like 20 horsepower drop whenever they switch to fuel injection.
Well, there you go.
But then he laughs because like he has a guy's got a blower motor that gets 16 miles per gallon with carburetors, and then tunnel rams, people like, oh, they're hard to start, and it's like, actually no, they're kind of easier to start.
Yeah, I give Jezebel like a quarter pump, and it fires right up and sits there and idles.
Yeah, he always laughs when they say, "Well, I want my car to start all the time," and then he's like,
That makes
"Don't you know anyone that can tune a carburetor?"
Yeah, originally I was going to go with single 4-barrel, and I decided to go tunnel ram. And I watched a lot of what Jed was doing, and talked to him a little bit. And I mentioned the three evil letters that go together, and it was just like, yeah, it's a no-brainer for me. 2 650. Double pumpers, mechanical secondaries, do a little work to them, get the right linkage for it, and just run it.
It's simple. I mean, carburetors have worked for over 100 years.
Yes.
Hey, toilets work.
Well, they've all got their flaws, but he's seen that too many times that guys get these EFI setups, and then they don't get them dialed in right away, and it winds up getting too much fuel.
If you
running
don't
the
have
engine
control of the tables, if you cannot manipulate it,
he won't let anyone dyno one of his engines set up with the EFI first. He always makes them break it in on a carburetor, and then it's up to them to do the fuel injection.
That's what happens.
Then he walks away.
So like with this motor, we broke it in on a carburetor, right? And with the EFI setup, when we did a lot of homework on it, right? And like guys saying, "Oh, Holly says to do this with it. Don't do it. Do this." Blah blah blah. So we went through all these different weird steps, and one of the biggest things I think, from what I've read and just knowing what we were doing, people don't get the initial timing set right. And you'll start having all kinds of problem with that, or the O2 sensor isn't done right, or something.
Yeah, well, if you have a leak, that's going to give you a false reading.
Yes.
I got everything not set right on my Valiant out here. It's a disgrace. It really is. How do you tune a 5-barrel?
With 5 screwdrivers, 5 hands. I don't know.
Distributor, my timing marks are gone, so I don't even know. I just, once it knocks, I back it off a little bit. It could be
new ones.
I got another motor. I picked up another RV 440, 11,000 miles on it. We drove it to where my buddy scrapped it. It's like, I want the motor, tranny, driveline. You can scrap the rest. $400.
Good deal.
That's a good deal.
Well,
hey, Jed.
I cleaned it up. What year did they stop painting the blocks? Because it was rusted as shit.
It was industrial. They don't care.
I wired wheelbase blocks for weeks. I did it in sections. I spray painted it, but I acetoned it before I painted it and wire wheel. And I was third shift, so I come home at 7:30 in the morning, and I was still wound up. The sun just come out. It's a new day. Yeah. Don't go to bed till 2-3 in the afternoon. When I went to bed, I went to bed. But
Jed, remember
good though what you got behind it.
Say, when you flip the pistons, do you leave the rings in their respective bores and bearings and all that good shit, or?
Well, are you talking about flipping the pistons?
Yep.
I don't fuck around with that stupid shit.
I wouldn't even touch it.
I'm just Uncle Tony's big on it. I don't know. Not that I'm plugging Uncle Tony.
But if I was going to use pistons, I wouldn't care about the flat.
I'm not going to say anything bad about Tony. He's got his good points. He's got his bad points.
I know, but is flipping the pistons really worth it?
No, fuck no.
No
I'll just say this: if you're going to take the engine that far apart, you might as well spend the money and put good fucking pistons in it in the first place.
And get the compression,
Well,
right?
that's just it. I don't have funds for that. I got the drivetrain and the speedometer out of that Winnebago.
I would just, if you're not gonna do anything internally, leave it alone, because that's how Chrysler's engine. My grandpa had a saying: they pay those engineers millions of dollars to build the best package they can, and we think we can do better. And it's absolute horse shit. All we can do is optimize that package for what we want it to do better. Right. That motorhome engine will last forever if you leave it alone.
Well, I got a motorhome engine in the Valiant now. I'm just going to swap it out because it's like mid-70s. I don't know what year block it is. I can't.
The only thing I would do to a motorhome engine is to change the top ring to Molly. You'll find that it'll wear the cylinder much less with a Molly ring. You'll get very little wear at the end of 100,000. But the cast iron rings, you're gonna get a wearage.
Yeah.
Right.
Leave
the bottom. I was thinking about working on the heads a little bit. You know, if I didn't have to tear the bottom apart, that's even great.
If you got a motorhome, a real motorhome, it's going to have extra cooling holes in it. You can get the gasket that matches. It has all that stuff can work really, really well. Like Jed said, leave it alone.
Yeah. All right. I mean, if you're not going to upgrade it in any way, like put good pistons in it or nothing.
Right.
I just want to make it fresh, and I don't want it to leak. The one I've got now, I get a puddle on the intake, and
what's leaking? The rear main?
No, it's something on it. My uncle pulled a RV motor out and just stuffed it in this car. You know, factory gaskets, all that. Big motor in a little car. Well, he had a 383 before this, and then he put the 440 in it. And he just, back in the day, you just got another motor and stuck it in.
I bought two 440s, motorhome engines, right? And both of them came with 6-pack rods, and both of them came with the window tray. So these are good motors.
Yeah.
So did the motorhome 440 craze happen when it started getting harder to find the other 440s, or was it because of roadkill? It's the exact same
motor as an HP motor, except that they don't have the cam.
Oh, okay.
No, they don't have the compression.
And they don't have the compression.
Because I knew
because somebody stamped HP doesn't mean anything.
The reason I wanted my 68 440 is because it had flat tops with a forged crank and LY rods.
Oh yeah.
So
well, to be fair, the best 440 is a 67 model just because it has the 915 heads, closed chamber, big valve. That's the best iteration technically.
Yeah. I got a 67 Monaco 500 in the backyard that's got an HP 440 in it.
It should totally have the 915.
The big blocks, the earlier big blocks didn't have
$300.
What?
The earlier big blocks didn't have the strengthening.
What'd you say?
That's true. Yeah, the earlier blocks are technically weaker just because they don't have the strengthening on them like the later ones.
And also the main webbings are thicker on the later ones too.
Marginally. I mean,
but enough where there's metal there. So
yeah.
See, and then even more with a 400 because the shorter deck makes for a tighter motor.
Yeah, same thing with a 383. Yeah, the low deck engines are technically the stronger block. That's why they're popular to build strokers out of.
Yeah.
And why dick around with a 383 when you can get something with a bigger bore than a 440, even though it's only 20 thousandths bigger, it's still bigger.
Yep.
I'm all about.
It's gonna spin up faster too.
The 400.
It's got a shorter stroke.
400's a good.
Yeah. That's all I've had, and I've never driven one.
Yeah, the 400's got the 3.38 inch stroke versus the 440's got a full 3.75, so they're very different in that aspect. Right. The bore is almost the same, 4.320 versus 4.340. Still 400 you can go further with.
And I'm going with something that's blue and has a 4.39 inch bore with a 4.375 inch stroke.
I was torn between building the 440 or the 451, and I just had everything to put the 440 together. So
474 maybe then, huh? With a 400.
I want to do a stroker out of that 72 400 I got, but I don't know what to do with it though.
Yeah, a stroker with aluminum heads, a 10-to-1 compression. That would be great.
Just jump right into the 512, man.
I don't like about aluminum heads is they just look so stupid.
You could, if you build
Oh,
a
you can paint
512
'em.
with factory heads, it'd be a torque monster.
Even still, looks like you put a block of cheese on top of an engine or something.
Oh, you're an OEM guy from way back. I think you were born in another timeline or something.
Oh, dude, I totally agree with Ryan. That's like I open Jezebel's hood and I see my two 650 Ultra XPs and I'm like, oh yes. I see the Mopar M1 tunnel. I'm like, oh yes. I see Gold Morosas. Oh yes. I see a red block. Yes. I see those stupid Victor style heads. And I'm like, those look
No.
Well, you can make more power with iron heads because of the iron, but the aluminum is taking the weight off the nose, and in a drag car, it really doesn't matter much.
So those heads, no iron head can touch the flow on those aluminum heads.
Oh yeah, the flow,
They have the offset intake ports. It solves all sorts of issues. And those heads, no port work will outflow a fully ported fucking iron head.
Yeah. But an iron head's still
I've
more
heard so many
heat-wise.
people say the biggest
iron
flaw
head.
in a 440 is they put small block Chevy heads on it. Basically.
Yeah.
You don't want a
what
Mopar
you're
with
saying, man,
Chevy rods.
what you're saying is correct about the iron heads. They retain heat, which helps bring in horsepower.
And efficiency.
Yeah.
But aluminum is where it's at if you want to lose weight. Now, if we can get an all 440 aluminum 440, there we go. Maybe a Keith Black block. That would be all right.
So I was going to try to do a secret reveal at No Name Nationals. I gave Gary the money, and he was going to build me an old school blown 440 out of my 440, and it was going to have the 906 heads, and it was just a GM blower case that he completely rebuilt. It was just going to be like someone had built it a long time ago, but I was going back down that Cornet route where the 70 Cornet route where it'd be like an endless pit, and once again I just couldn't cut the satellite, so I went a different route. But
that would be nostalgic, though.
Yeah, it would have been
That'd be cool
badass.
shit. That'd be cool shit.
Yeah, it was going to be a surprise, and but man, I just I already
That'd
have
be
the
so cool.
727 with a trans brake that I'm not going to use in the jack pine. Yeah, but then I'd have to do subframe connectors, and then putting 750 horse in a nice car.
Ain't nothing meaner than a big old B body with 3-inch exhaust, man. They shake the ground. They shake the damn ground.
Yeah.
Thumper.
I've seen some of Thumper's videos. He ain't fooling nobody.
Hey,
I like his videos.
Hey, Jed.
He's a Pontiac guy.
Yeah, Jeff.
He's got
So
a
you remember I
70
was
GTO.
talking last weekend? I was talking to Rob Z, and I was telling him the problems I was having of getting that TCI transmission.
Yeah.
Well, we were going back and forth on text, and he was telling me what was going on. And at the beginning, it sounded like I'm fucked. Right?
Oof.
Showed up today.
No shit.
Yeah, the semi's like I hear something. This like freight truck semi looking thing pulled up my driveway, dropped everything off.
What's the TCI go for now?
The Super Street Fighter combo, which is basically second from just pure out race with torque converter. Literally, it's everything. They're not that bad. It was 2,500.
Wow.
Well, Thumper, let's be honest. Last time we were in a chat, you said they were 301 Pontiacs. Now they're 326. I have a pretty good memory for numbers.
Yes.
You ain't fooling me.
I remember the 90s, those transmissions being a lot cheaper. TSI.
They are, but in the world of
Today's
supply
transmission,
chain,
holy crap.
I know. I built a C6 for it. It's an earlier 68 model, and all the research I did on some stuff, not happy. So I got a backup plan on everything. I just figured, you know what? I'm building this car, dumping a lot of stupid money into it. I don't want to get there and like right off the line, first race, explode something. I want to run and run
not
and
an auto
run and
tranny.
run.
An automatic tranny can hurt you. Ask Don Garlitz.
Yeah, I took half his foot off.
I'm only planning on
So, yeah.
making one run, so it's going to be
I'm
so
gonna-
packed. at No Name Nationals, it's going to be stupid packed. Like I plan on only being able to make one run, and that is it.
Yeah, that's where I kind of like, with having 3 call outs, I'm like, I'll be lucky to get them off,
That's why I'm not accepting call outs. I'm not doing call outs. I just want to race. Like if I only get to do one race, I want to go up against Brian just because his duster's going to be just as cartoony as Jezebel, or I'm going to do this thing with him and Chris Albrecht and Johnny Mopar.
That was cool.
I love that thing that Johnny Mopar is doing, that $3,000 challenge where they got that club car. That's badass.
That's gonna be cool.
That's fucking hardcore.
He's just got to listen to me more on values of parts. But I know why he doesn't want to, because I know what this shit's going for today.
Yeah. He doesn't like me.
I'm going with the thought, Jed. I'm going with the thought of run as much as I can.
Yeah.
And because I'm going back into the Mopar stuff right after, like once this event's done, probably have a bunch of videos to edit, and then that Ford's getting parked and that Mopar's getting dug out.
Fucking A.
All right, so what do you think an 8.75 worth? A good shirt.
I don't even give a shit. I don't know. I mean,
I paid $700.
Talking Johnny Mopar.
373 sure grip.
I paid $100 for my 456 sure grip.
There you go.
Was that the whole rear end or just the?
You ain't paying that in New Jersey. I'll tell you that right now.
Center section.
Yeah,
I'm going up to an old dealership a friend of mine's had for a long time, packed full of cars and parts. I mean, just you name it, all Mopar.
Ooh.
Yes.
2
floors of an old. Everything's for sale. He's sold the building and he's getting rid of everything.
What's the guy's name?
Up in Rockford. You guys might. Some of you Mopar guys might know him.
Maybe
Jim Reinhardt. Call him Rhino.
A-Body Bob. I know him.
A-Body Bob.
So yeah.
A-Body Bob.
Everybody needs a Bob.
So I'm going up there tomorrow, and it's going through the weekend, but just because of some scheduling, I'm going to go up there and start running through a bunch of parts. He's got a lot of cool shit up there.
Yeah, he's got a lot of A-Body stuff. I didn't know he was trying to sell out. I saw him last year at Mopars in the Park.
Yeah, he sold the building.
Jim Reinhardt, yeah.
Yeah, I used to travel with him a lot. And
Miller tools.
He delivered a couple of second-gen Chargers here.
What was he in? Was he in a big toter home or was he in a truck?
He was in a truck. I think he was having truck problems. He delivered a 68 Charger and then a 70 Charger.
He's got some neat shit.
Back to Illinois.
And Jed, you're going to love, after tomorrow when I do this video, you're going to love the van video I do.
Oh,
I'm just going to put it that way. It's going to be neat.
I'm going to try and catch it. I have a hard time watching everybody's stuff.
Yeah, lately I've been
I can't even keep up.
Yeah, it's gotten crazy.
It's a Dodge van.
Keep up because of my normal
schedule. I'd burn through all my subscriptions and be waiting. Now it's like, oh my God, I can hardly find the ones that I'm looking for.
Man, I just been busy with so much life shit right now, and doing the car stuff. It's just been really hard to keep up with literally everything. It's going to get even harder and harder as more time goes on.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, recording is the hardest part. It's getting recording and working at the same time.
I'm just trying to keep up with my channel right now. I don't know why, but it's going up right now.
I don't know. It's fun for me watching everybody struggle, and I'm giving everybody a thumbs up and an attaboy and keep going.
Yeah.
I haven't had any content since the dyno video because I haven't done shit.
So what I ended up
probably 5 videos a week.
What I ended up deciding to do is whenever we're doing stuff, it's going to be like a whole day or a whole night. I do a lot of time lapse stuff, but if there's something that like is being explained more in depth, I make that a separate video and start scheduling them out. Like I knew like this week was going to be a shit show of a week getting stuff done. So I made a bunch of videos from 2 or 3 days worth of work and just dumped them out,
I've got a couple videos in the can that I want to actually make good quality videos. And then once the season starts with car shows and hitting the tracks, I'm going to try to do 2 videos where I'll start releasing like the build videos on the Jack Pine, and then like track days and car shows like I usually do. But
I'm gonna feel a whole lot more comfortable once this car's done. You know, the GTO's done, minus wheels and tires, and we're just out having fun videos. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it's gonna be more fun for me. But you know, I'm gonna keep it rolling. You know, like we're looking at 2023 car 70 dart swinger. You know, it's just gonna be a big stroker motor, lightweight, plain Janer. You know, and
Big motor, little car.
big motor,
No
little
tube
car,
chassis?
and lots of.
No tube chassis or a regular chassis.
It's gonna be a regular chassis. I mean, I'll move the springs inward in the back, and I want to go as much fiberglass as I can, where it's still safe on the street ish. Just
Whoa,
to make it super light.
you gonna go with fiberglass doors?
Safe.
I want to go doors. I want to go doors, hood, trunk lid, fenders,
All safety's out the window.
and just big motor, low gears, all old school stuff. Tunnel ram. You know, just make it fun, and paint it white, like a pearl white.
White.
Red bumblebee stripe.
White's my
and-
favorite color. I recommend it to everybody.
Yeah, I'm doing white on my
Skinniest-
66 Belvedere for no name.
The easiest color to paint, and it hides a lot of stuff.
That'd be cool.
It does.
And white looks super clean, you know, when it's done right, you know.
Yeah.
Black is the hardest. Black is the hardest, actually.
And you know,
And
to be honest with you,
dark
I bought this car 20 some years ago, and it was one of those cars. It was a B5 Blue 70 Dart that had hidden shitty body work, and it started showing. And I've always put it off because I'm not the know-how on paint and body, but the guy that we just brought on to help us, that's what he does. So we help him out mechanically,
How many
and
cats
we're
do you
just
got?
trading labor, you know.
Two.
Two, okay.
The famous cat from the intro.
Yep.
Man, that's a fat cat.
He's a big cat. He's
Wendy, you guys got a cat.
But when it comes to like building cars and that, like the Jack Pine's such a heirloom type car, you know, being a drag car since 1969. And I feel guilty putting a stroker in it. You know, it'd be actually probably cooler if I built my 68 440 up old school and put that in it, and it'd be in a 12-second car again. But
thanks for the hit.
You're
But
working on the
like I
Belvedere.
feel strangled. Like I can't do too much to it because I don't want to
12-second
change
car.
it.
What are you out of your mind? You'll explode your heart.
I've got a handful of 340s laying around, you know, and everything I've always done is small block. And like this build I'm doing now, although it's a blue oval, it's a big block. And the wheels are turning in my head going, darts are lightweight. You can make them super light. I know a whole lot about them. Why don't I go super light with a whole bunch of cubic inches? And I like staying naturally aspirated, you know, and I really like the
340s
tunnel
are
ram
expensive.
stuff. They are
340s are going way up in price.
way too much money.
So I'm
Build
glad I
stroker
picked up this.
360.
I just sold a 340 short block for $900. It was board 30 over.
Oh,
That was cheap.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I sell my bare blocks for about $1,000.
Well,
I was
it
gonna
sucked
say-
though because the guy I bought it from, I should have looked at it better, so it's kind of on me. But it was kind of getting dark. Whatever, I didn't inspect it like I should have. He said it was clean, standard bore, never been touched, original short block.
yeah. I remember that.
Well, I
Video.
looked
You did a
at it.
video on that.
It's got vertical scratches in the cylinders, and the pistons say 30 over, and I'm like, seriously?
Damn it. What year was the block?
69.
That's another thing. Is 340s more so than pretty much any other engine besides a 440. 340, 440, the only two engines that really got super value that is directly related to the year. And 69, second most valuable year. 70 is the most valuable year because of the
TAs and AARs and
well, I mean, for
Yeah.
440s, it's the year for fucking Cudas and Challengers.
Right.
70 is the most collectible year.
And,
yeah, I've got a 7340, and in a few days I'm going to go pick up a 70 446 pack warranty replacement block.
Wow,
that'll be a friggin' gold mine.
I didn't plan it at all, but I think it's cool that I got a 68 440 going on my 68 satellite.
Yeah, day code would be nice to have.
I mean,
I
it's
kind of
not
wish I
that
had a
big.
70 model 340 from my Duster that I was building, but at the same time, the 340 block I ended up getting is better because it's a real early one. On the casting, it's a 67, but it's for 68. and it's a little bit different block. It's a little bit stronger in every dimension because the last number at the end of the casting code, there'll be always a single number, like a -3, -7, -8.
Right. That's
And
the core.
sometimes they had to do like a core shift revision for that
Right.
pack.
Core shift. Right.
And the lower that number, the more stable and less core shift your block can have. And this one's a -3.
Right.
And I had the opportunity to buy a 70 block, but it was either buy my block for like $300 because it was so shitty looking, or buy the 70 block for $1,200. So I took a gamble on my block, which was supposed to be standard bore. And we always wondered why the standard bore pistons didn't fit worth a shit.
Wasn't it 30 over?
It was 30 over.
Yeah, I was talking to Just Mopar Joe one night. It was funny. I was talking to Just Mopar Joe right after I saw your video asking for 340 pistons. And we just so happened to be talking about 340 pistons. And Joe asked me, hey, you know anybody looking for 340 pistons? I said, go to Jed. He just did a video. He's like, thanks for the lead. And he ended up selling them. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, he got me those pistons. I didn't really want TRW pistons because they're so damn heavy.
Heavy.
Okay.
And honestly, those pistons are going to, if I just put those in as they are with my small chamber W2s, I'd be almost at 11-to-1 compression with those iron heads.
Wow.
I'd actually been a little bit higher than that. So we're going to mill the pistons that way we get exactly like 10.2-to-1 because it's still iron headed.
Mm-hmm.
And our solid roller chamber is just big enough, but we're not going to rely on a dynamic compression ratio to save on pump gas.
Yeah.
Jed, I
I just sent out some 915s, 915 big blocks to be rebuilt. So I'll see how those go.
Couple years ago, I sold a 68 340 block virgin bore, absolute mint. I mean, it was, man, that's one I should have kept, but
yeah,
somebody I know found out I had it and was just bugging me and bugging me and bugging me and bugging me. And the price.
Oh yeah, E85, but then you run into a whole other problem.
Super.
I will never, ever, ever run that garbage through my fuel system because I have.
You know what it does, right?
It destroys carburetors. Yeah, if you literally want to watch your carburetor get ate alive, run E85 or your fuel system for that matter. I understand it's freaking killer fuel. It's basically running pump gas for no money or running race gas for no money at all. But the other handoff is literally letting your carburetors turn to nothing.
Yeah, because you got to upgrade everything. Everything has to be stainless. Everything has to be, ethanol proof. Everything.
When you can't do that with the carburetor. So literally, unless you drain the fuel out of the carburetors every time and you coat them, they're going to eat alive. And I know you say you ain't had any problems yet. It don't happen overnight. It takes a little bit. But
let them sit for about 6 months. See what happens.
Yeah, let that fuel just sit for 6 months. Don't do anything.
I can show you bowls that I took apart. It looked like rock candy in there.
Yep.
Heavens Mopar's talking about it. He loves 340s. I tell you what sold me on 340s. My dad always had them, he said when he was a teenager in the 60s and all that, and was a believer in it. And when he bought, I was a teenager, and he bought another Dart, and it had a okay 340 that I ended up grenading. I blamed it on him. But long story short, I had friends that had cars with big blocks, and that little light Dart with that 340 would just walk them. That little motor would just run and run and run and run. It's a great motor.
Hey, Thumper, don't tell that to the boat guys. The boat guys are really mad about that ethanol.
Well, E85 is corrosive. There's no denying that.
Mm-hmm.
I watched what it did to Daniel's fuel system when he was running E85 with his old engine, and that was why he got away from E85.
Well, I took out about 6 gallons of water from a boat because of E85.
Yeah.
It absorbs water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. 5 gallons of gas and 6 gallons of water.
Brian, I'm gonna hop off, buddy. I got to work early in the morning.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm gonna cut it at midnight, so it's been 10 minutes. But if you got to go now, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys soon. And I'll hop on your lives on Thursdays, and we'll go from there, man.
Sure.
Have a good night.
Thanks.
See ya. And hey, if I find any cool parts, Jed, I'll text them to you. All right.
I like cool parts.
See you guys later.
Yep.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Oh, you got your first fan bot, man. You are famous. You have
What?
made it.
Oh, what the?
You are officially YouTube famous.
How do I get rid of
Wow, look at that. Oh, man.
Holy shit. We're
Yeah,
that
click on it. I want to see what happens.
it? No,
Don't
no,
do it.
no.
Don't do it. Don't I'm just messing with you.
Put it back up.
No.
Oh, man, the old guy really wants them bad, huh?
I'm still trying
No,
to
I got
still
one of
trying
those
to
bots.
focus. There were
I
so
got one of
many.
them bots the other day for the first time ever, and it pissed me off because it was on a video that it should not have ever been on. I did a video for Jim Bennett, just like a quick little 2-minute thing.
Yeah, I
Oh,
And
remember
there's
that.
a
I saw that.
bunch
I
of
saw that.
spam bots came on there, and I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
This video of all things?"
Yeah.
What sucks is if he didn't know how to block it, and we'd have to eat it in the chat.
Well, I just on those there's like 6 comments. I just went through and deleted them.
I was going to say, I'm glad I don't have your problems. I'm a great spectator, man. If you want to know what happens, I'll let you.
Man, I don't even know how you would set up a moderator or like how a moderator.
Yeah, I don't know how to do
gets-
that.
I don't know. They just put up a StreamYard link, and it's like, "Hey, fellas, how's it going, buddy?"
Do you know how that works,
Hey,
Jed?
hand
Just
out some
pick a
blue
Yeah, if you,
wrenches, damn it.
if Ryan goes over to the YouTube chat and hovers over someone's name,
Mhm.
there should be 3 little dots.
Yeah.
You can either boot them or make them a mod.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, if you want a good mod, we make Raker a mod in all of our chats because he's always there.
Dude, he is.
Always.
I love Ricker.
Or Aaron. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, they're both always in chat.
Yeah. I can't wait to meet Aaron, man, for sure.
That'd be cool.
That's going to be cool.
I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys in person, except, I already met you, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to enjoy meeting me. I'm a complete dick in person. I'm nothing like I am
That's
on my
not
YouTube
what
channel.
Big Mike said.
If you can get through Jed's.
You've been on my lives 2 nights in a row.
Oh, just because I'm bored.
Jed's PR.
Oh,
people.
okay.
I got to go raise some hell somewhere.
He couldn't find a carb to rebuild.
Yeah, I'm bummed that I go into my long work week now, because all the lives are going to be going on over the weekend. I'd really like to watch the John Wilbur one. I'll probably try to play it at my charge desk, but then I get pulled away.
I'm curious what sponsor come on.
Yeah.
He's pretty good at not letting you know what's going on. He'll lead you into it though. It's like, man,
I'm just
I don't know who he's trying to point at.
I'm morbidly curious about how many guys are actually signed up now. I mean, I don't need to know names, but it'd be kind of cool to because of all these guys keep calling each other out, because we're just the small group of guys that are interacting. What about these guys that aren't interacting with us?
Yeah, there's another No Name National universe over there we don't even know exists.
It'll turn out to be like Turbo LS Fest, and we're going to be the Mopar minority.
If I go over, I'm gonna look up the hashtag No Name Nationals, because it'll say how many channels have put that hashtag in their thing. 122 channels.
Wow.
I took them off mine.
1.5 thousand views, or 1.5 thousand videos.
There's been a couple channels out that'll bring it up on YouTube, and they got like 300-400 subscribers, but they see him at the drag strip, and it's like, oh man, this guy's got a piece of equipment. I've thrown No Name National out to other people on YouTube. It's like, hey, I'll throw Weekend Sexton, John Wilburn. I know it might not. This No Name Nationals is going to be huge anyway. But
I took that hashtag off mine because I've got enough subscribers. And
good for you.
Well, but I did it because that way the guys that are using it are going to get more attention probably. But I found that a lot of times when I used it, I would get like a spike, but then I would lose them all the next day. You know? So it's like I don't need that. I don't need that drama.
I just did the No Name National hashtag on that Jezebel reassembly, just that way it's like logged in, even though I've been fucking. I paid my entry fee quite a while ago.
Yeah.
I only do the hashtag on videos that are related to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some people just put No Name Nationals on everything, and it's just like,
Or just try to get more attention.
Well,
so I figured the guys that are in that race to 500 and that, I'm like, hey, God bless them, that's what it's for, So I don't want to try to draw from them if it gets a chance that gives them a little bit more.
All right.
But
I qualified a while ago.
Special events, I will like a call out or something like that, or like if I'm gonna banter with Joe or NSB.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're gonna do a reaction video to NSB dressed up as Bigfoot,
that was
you should.
That's I told John Wilburn there should be an award for the best call out video.
Like an Academy Award.
Those guys knocked it out of the park. I thought. I died laughing watching that.
That was funny.
Well, you actually died on the video. They had your head.
Oh, yeah. And I'm gonna die at the track too. Jesus.
No, you won't.
No.
Never know. They might miss the light and red light. Who knows?
I think my car will.
They got the manual, so I've always got the automatics chance.
I think my car will perform okay. I just don't think I'll perform okay. I've never raced.
Yeah. Well, that's where I gotta get to the track. And then Ryan, when we rent that 8th mile track, you'll have to come up with us.
When is that? Have we figured out?
Colin hasn't given me any definite date. He said like so far this year, there's only like 6 guys in his group, and then like they're trying to find more guys, but it's gonna happen.
Are they gonna let any of you guys like take some time on the track and practice?
Well, that's I'm gonna go to some testing tunes as soon as my car is running, and I'm just gonna all I'm gonna do is do a burnout, and that's gonna be my goal for that run, And then once I do my burnout and staging, and I feel comfortable with that, then I'm gonna do a 60 foot. And then when I'm comfortable with like my 60 foot, then I'll start trying to push it beyond there. I'm not gonna go try to run it, top speed first time out. I'd wreck my car.
Stick your toe in.
Yeah, it's going to take me. I'm probably not going to be doing full passes until, like, if I got my car running by the end of May, I probably am not going to be pushing it until like July. That's if I get to the track frequently.
Yeah.
I would go to the track and just ease into it to the point where you could just go down the track.
Mm-hmm. Gary's looking forward to going to the track with me again because he hasn't been in a long time. And
you got to video all that.
And then I want to go down.
I got to see this.
Yeah, and I want to go down with like you got Jerry Racing, you got Rabbit Transit, you got maybe even 318 Will Run. He hits the tracks.
That would be great, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to like
get to
do some stuff with those guys and learn from them. Blake,
I've watched a few of 318's runs, and he's run the van. And the Duster, I think.
Mm-hmm.
What Duster he's got?
Yeah. Real quick, what is 318 Will Run's name? I've heard like 3 different things. Isn't it like Todd?
Not Todd.
I thought it was Todd. I don't know.
Tim.
That's
Todd or Tim? Tim?
That's what sucks with this YouTube. Everybody's got their screen name, and then everybody's got their real name, and I can't remember name shit.
Mine's simple.
Yeah, and Ryan should put up the button and put all our names up. That's Bigfoot. That's Jets. And
yep.
We don't have our names up.
I don't know how to do that.
Well,
I only use John's name when I'm punishing him.
It doesn't show me how to do that. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
I want to get one of them G-Tech things or whatever, where you can like actually do runs on the street and it's actually somewhat accurate.
Yeah.
Little dyno.
The Dragon key?
Yeah. I want to get one of those. I feel like I could do some cool videos with something like that.
But I don't know.
Roadkill was doing that from one telephone pole to the other.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you measure that.
Was doing that. Tony was doing that for a while. He had a G-Tech that he was doing his Duster that he was changing one thing at a time. Not Duster, Dart. It was his Dart GT with the blue hood on it.
My issue is that Mocan is 2 hours away from me, so it's going to be an event just to go and test and tune for me.
Wow. Yeah.
I don't even know where my local track
Are you
is.
going to trailer the cars? Are you going to trailer the cars down to the event, or are you going to drive them?
I'm trailering.
I'm trailering it because it's stupid to drive the race car. Like, I'm 6 hours away from Sykeston.
Yeah, I'm 10.
Yeah.
I'm like almost 10.
I'm 10 in 5 minutes. Because I'm farther north than Ryan.
Well, my local track is Atco, okay? And when I used to go to Atco, a lot of the guys would go there and drive all their cars. And it was so cool to go out to the parking lot. And here's a car that just did 10 seconds sitting in the parking lot. And they just drive home. I'm like, son of a bitch.
If I didn't have to go like to Mocan, if it wasn't 2 hours.
Right.
If it was 45 minutes, it'd be a different story.
So like I can drive to Topeka, but that's a big track. Like that's where they hold events, and that's just too big of a freaking track for me. It's only like an hour and 20 minutes away. But I also hate Topeka. If you've never been to Topeka, Kansas, it is a cesspool of shit.
You can't be no worse than North Jersey, dude.
You look at Ruben's video where he went to that test and tune, and there was just so many guys there. You'd be lucky to get maybe 2 runs, the entire night. Whereas, up north here, I think it's a little bit easier. Ryan, do you know how far Rock Falls is? I want to say that's 3 hours. That's
I can look it up quick.
Wisconsin.
Is it Wisconsin?
That's a great track. I really like that track when I went there for Fallout. Then we got Brainerd. How far is Brainerd, do you know?
Brainerd's about 3 hours, I think.
Yeah, so I think everything's about 3 hours from us, too. There's an 8-mile track west of the cities, and I think
Rock
that's
Falls
the one
Raceway. Rock Falls Raceway is in Eau Claire. Yeah.
It's actually south of Eau Claire ways. It's way out of the city, but yeah, it'd be a good estimate.
It's that county. Yeah. Let's see, what's it say?
It's not too far from Red Wing. But yeah, all of them are kind of a drive for us too here. But Blake said Tri-State there is never too crowded, and you can make quite a few runs. And then Humboldt, it depends on if they're having an event and stuff, I guess. But
I just got confirmation from my brother today that he's getting his. That was one of the big hangups, was hauling Jezebel to like Sykeston.
Mm-hmm.
Dad's 06 Ram, it's got almost 300,000 miles on it now. Wow. We're not going to stress that pickup if we don't have to with the trailer. That truck's got to last him forever. So the whole plan was, well, if Michael gets his new gooseneck done, he's going to let us borrow his new 24-valve Super Cummins with a 6-speed to haul Jezebel on his new trailer. So now we have a way to haul Jezebel as long as he doesn't break that truck.
Nice.
There you go.
Here you go, Mopar Nut. Look at this comment.
Your support doesn't need support.
No.
Don't feed the troll.
350. Oh, was it a 350 RB block or 350 low block? Which is it? It's going to be a Mopar block, right? Not a Chevy block.
Yeah, 350 glow deck engine.
Yeah, you got to add a little 1 to that 350. 351.
I never did share the photos of Jesse's 350 big block. I always meant to do this video.
Well, who was it? A while back, a guy was talking about like 400 small block. And then I was like, well, are you talking low deck or are you talking Chevy?
I'll be talking Chevy.
And I love it. I'm a Pontiac guy, so I love it when they say, Pontiac big block. That's my favorite thing.
Pontiac. I used to have a Ventura years ago. Nothing fancy. Fancy wheels and keep it clean. That was a hot rod.
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot. I checked. Rock Falls is about 2 hours.
Yeah. So all of them are a little bit of a drive for us too. But
That sucks.
And I live in cul-de-sac.
I'm further
America.
away than all of you. Okay, I'm in New Jersey, so stop crying.
I've been the good neighbor and like shut down all my like loud noises by 7 p.m. so the people in my cul-de-sac can get their kids to sleep and everything. But I have a feeling they're not going to like the jack pine at all.
Oh, they're not gonna. I used to live in a trailer park with my
Because I'm not going to
Cordova.
be able to resist starting that up at least once a day to hear it.
Oh man, I had everybody was mad at me at the trailer park with my Cordova because it had the 3-inch exhaust. Okay, 383 M1 freaking intake. You know what I mean? 850 Carter. So
That
it was loud. It still is loud.
Yeah, that video's still up, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I don't
video.
take anything down.
Yeah,
I'm not
I listened
ashamed.
to that one. Yeah, that's a good sounding Cordova.
But I tell you, my neighbors hated me with that car. 'Cause I drove that car on the street all the time. That car, like I said, I had that car up to 125 on the Parkway.
One of my
So-
regrets when I was actually looking
125.
to get back into the car game.
Oh yeah.
One of the cars I saw on Craigslist, it was a brown 78 Magnum. It had a 400 in it. It had bucket seats with a console and T-tops.
Oh,
And it was
Petty
mint.
hated the Magnums too.
What's that?
Petty hated the Magnums. He said it
Oh.
was undrivable at 190 miles an hour.
Mm.
I'm like, okay,
But
190 miles an hour.
I always thought they were a cool car. I remember our CarCraft had a cover one time where a guy had one all blacked out and he had a big
Yes.
spoiler on the front and he called
Oh.
it Darth Vader or something.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
There was one on the Summit catalog a long time ago. They were putting a 451 stroker in it.
Mhm. Yeah, those, like I said, if you do the Cordovas and the Charger that year, that body style, you do them right, man. They are. I love the lines of them.
They can
They'll
look
look
cool.
mean. They'll look mean. I was
And they're
gonna
not
take,
that heavy either, are they?
Oh, they're pretty heavy because they're
Okay.
the ones that have all the rubber crap on their suspension, and then they got the 5 mile per hour bumpers that got to go. All
The 50 mile an hour bumpers.
Yeah, government mandated garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was gonna do a complete like bringing them all in, bring all the bumpers in, and lighten it up
Yeah.
like they do with the 74s and 73 Chargers. If you ever see what's that called, American Restorations, it's online. They took all their work offline. They used to have pictures of the cars as they were working. It was great because they showed you exactly what they were doing to the cars. And you
I
could
want my
build-
73 Charger back already, and it's only been gone for a few hours.
Yeah,
Just
but you
sold
wouldn't
it today.
you wouldn't tuck the what you call the bumpers in. You'll keep it stock.
My buddy had a 74 Charger. It was green. I think it was F7 green, Sherwood green. Had the white top, white interior, white bucket seats, and he had Keystone Classics on it. And he had just the right size in the back. And it had a
Those
318. And we teased him about it not being the sexy Charger, but it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful car.
Those vinyl tops on those 73s and 74s are goofy because they don't go to
Yeah, I
the
take
drip
them
rail.
off.
They go like 2
Yeah.
inches away, and there's a strip
Yeah, I
of
take
paint
them off.
there.
I take them off. The worst thing for a car is a vinyl top unless that car is put away in a garage. If you don't put it
I'm
in the
putting one
garage,
back on
it's gonna
mine.
rust. It's
I know where
gonna
there's
rust.
one in the
If you
garage.
treat the under metal better
Yeah.
than what the factory did, they'll be fine.
I mean,
Yeah, but you still have
prep
to
it like the
maintain
rest
the
of the
top.
car, if you prep
You
it
have
and
to
do it
really
right.
maintain the top. If you put some oil on the top, it'll be good. But a
Yeah,
lot of these people have.
there's a specific product. I keep reminding myself to order it, but I haven't. But
Because a
I
lot of
actually
people have these cars
like
and-
it on my satellite because it it breaks up the lines a little bit. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I like the Gator top.
Yeah.
The Gator vinyl. I like that. But if I
You see
had
those,
it, I would have to take care of it.
Those flower tops, those mod tops.
I would do that in a paint job, though. I would do it as a paint job. Take lace and put it in there. That would be cool.
I can see that.
I got a tiny tear right above the chrome trim above the windshield that I'm afraid someday might catch or something. It's going to get
Well,
worse.
As long as you keep that in the garage, you'd be better off.
Yeah.
Get some like adhesive or something to stick it together so it wouldn't have a rough edge.
Yeah,
It
they
sounds
just sell that
stupid,
new
but it might be
vinyl stuff.
something.
Right now, the satellite's nestled between two Barracudas, so it's sleeping pretty good.
Is it still hibernating?
Yeah.
Bring it
Between a
over to
red-
say
a
hi
red
to
one
my
and a green
TA.
one. What's that?
Bring it over to say hi to my TA.
Yeah.
That's saying hi to AARs.
It only hangs out with the best.
It only hangs out with the Plymouths.
Yeah.
Yeah, sold
That guy,
TA also.
Kudadan, his son,
Jeez.
I think he wants to take his red one out to the track just to see what it'll do. So I'm hoping to be able to do that. Kudadan's got a 70 that's that bug juice green, the what do you call it? The limelight green. I don't know. Black vinyl.
You talking about the flat color, or are you talking about the 69.5?
Not the metallic one. You know the sublime green or
yeah, it looks like some like green apple Laffy Taffy.
yeah.
And
that thing's a 10-second car. He's looking for a guy to put a swing bar in it. That's the only reason he doesn't take it to the track. And I'm
It's a
like,
good thing it's a 10-second car. You have less time to look at that color.
yeah, but I'm like,
I love that color, man.
But I'm like, Dan, let me take it over to Gary. He'll do it in a half hour, and then you can go to the track with me.
Oh, I don't like that color.
I love all the impact colors. Like
There's only one green that I like. It's that 69.5, that F6 spring green, that kind of medium metallic.
See, I don't like that one. I like F8. I like the dark green
Like
metallic.
Yeah, you could take the F8 that's on my Challenger TA and put it on anything.
When you see the F8 with the metal flake in it, when it's buffed up, boy, that's a pretty color.
What's even better than F8 is GG1 from '68 because it's just darker.
Okay.
In the dark, it looks black.
I don't want you guys to leave or anything, but I love the Fathom green that Chevy had too, because it looked black until a little bit of light hit it.
You might as well just start telling me how much you love freaking fuel injection.
Well,
top banana yellow, man.
Two hacks is out of here, but that Verado green on the GTO is beautiful too. When it's out.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. So high impact colors, they're pretty. Yeah, I got nothing for them. I don't like high impact colors. I like all the earth tone metallic colors because nobody does them anymore.
Dude, I got a video I want to release so you can see something. But so, do you remember the under the hood of the 70 Coronet? It was that mist blue. It's like yeah. I love that color.
Yeah.
You don't see it ever, and if it was like fresh and the metal flake was shining.
There's F8 original paint, F8 green.
Yeah.
I go B5 blue. That's what I like.
That's the color of my Super B, and I have mixed feelings about painting it B5 blue again.
The problem with B5 is you can't get B5. You get something, you get every color around B5, but you can't actually replicate B5.
You get B4 or B6.
Mine's,
you
I think mine's
get
B5. I think my
what? Yeah, it's close to B7. I've painted B7.
You gotta get a hood or a deck lid that never seen the sunlight.
No. See, like even then, you can't actually make proper B5 with today's paint. Good friend of mine, Tom Roseman.
There's so many variants of it too.
Well, yeah, every year it changed too. But like my buddy Tom Roseman, he lives in St. Louis.
So Andy,
he's a multi-millionaire, and that's the one color car he will not buy anymore is a B5 car because he has spent probably a good 2 years of his life trying to find a paint shop that can recreate true B5, and it's not possible.
It's a good color, Mark.
I'm going to get an approximation on my blue one then. My 71's going that way inside and out.
So the Jack Pine, when Andy painted it back when he was 19, he got the tint of B7 blue, but he said in order to meet the metal flake that he wanted, that he thought was more than he could get, he wound up getting like a German metal flake, and he mixed it. And I mean, I just sit in my garage sometimes and just look at that paint job. It's pretty nice.
Beautiful. Yeah.
And that's why I'm going with white.
White is simple.
Oh, that's the color the car was, right?
Yeah.
White is all business, you know. I mean, it's like you see like a clean like race car like that painted white. You're like, he's business, you know. He's
There it goes.
Yeah.
Metallic colors can be tough to paint too.
Gonna put that super stock scoop on it and everything.
Where are you gonna get your scoop from, man?
AR fiberglass.
Don't
That's
waste
pretty-
your money.
No?
No, AR's junk. When they sold out to Stinger, their quality dropped.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
What
They're
about
good.
Unlimited?
what about
Sled
Sled
Unlimited?
City or
Yeah, go to Sled City.
Oh.
Call Larry Augustine up. If you can't find his number online, because I think he shut his website down, message me on Facebook. I'll get you his number. Tell him I sent you.
Jed? Do you guys
appreciate
watch? Is it Mopar Nation?
I don't know.
It's a small channel, but the guy hangs out with these guys that race like nostalgic super stock Barracudas and stuff. And anyway, they one of their cars is called the Sled City Barracuda. It's a blue.
Yeah.
Barracuda.
I have seen
Yeah.
that video. I wonder if that's one of Larry's old cars, because Larry has like real high dollar cars.
Yeah. But they
Viper
seem to
Green.
use nothing but Sled City parts too. So
Yeah, there's no
and I've
better
heard nothing
man.
but good about them.
Yeah, there's no better man in the fiberglass business than Larry Augustine.
I was asking
Sled
him
City,
where.
huh?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was at Indy a couple years ago, I was looking for a new RO scoop, like what Ryan just showed on his car. I was looking for a new one for my Dart, and because the one that's on it is just a cheap piece of shit. When it showed up, it was already broken. It was that shoddily made, and I got to sample actually at Indy every single brand represented. Everybody who makes one of those. I got to see a Stinger. I got to see an AR. I got to see whoever the fuck else, all these other brands. I saw about 4 or 5 different brands of those scoops, and they all suck dick. They're all thin, and then the way they actually mount is just stupid. It's like a little sheet metal tab with fiberglass over it, holding it in place, or it's got like a little dug, like a little freaking mountain built up of fiberglass and the stud through it.
Okay.
Well, nothing actually holds that shit in. And I went over and I talked to Larry because I'd heard about him from Reputation. He's just a little more expensive than everybody else because he's just basically a single dude operation almost. He's got a team, but it's not a big team. He's not a big business. I went over there and talked to him. I took one look at his scoop and handed him money. So instead of having like just a sheet metal tab or just a stud with a mound bit around it, the whole inside of the scoop is a solid block. The whole length and your studs are mounted in those. Yeah, his
awesome.
scoops are by far the absolute best. His fiberglass parts are the best.
Does
Fantastic.
he have a website or is it just Facebook?
I think I found him on website.
He used to have a website and he used to have a Facebook, but I think he either took him down just because he got tired of people bashing him. He, like most people, there's some drama that surrounded him for a short period of time.
Monster Russ wants to know what we think of 72 Chargers.
They're pretty cool.
But doesn't he specialize in the early B bodies and stuff? That the early 60s stuff?
Yeah, he mostly specializes in the earlier stuff.
Because I don't think he makes like 6-pack hoods and stuff like that.
Well, he's working on getting into the later stuff. Like I told him I wanted a fiberglass hood for my Duster. He told me if I shipped my hood up to him, he'd make a mold off of it.
Yeah, I like the scoop you got on the Duster.
Oh, yeah, having an all steel hood was for the win.
Yeah. But the pro stock style hood scoop, you know.
Yeah.
How about half a hood? As long as you take off the inner skin or as long as you keep the skin, it's still a hood.
Yeah.
I was sold on if I would have kept the Coronet, I was gonna have Gary graft a super stock scoop on it as opposed to that the mock hog nose hood that I had. You know, it's like have him flatten it out and put a super stock scoop on it. Because when I jokingly set that on there, I fell in love with it. I'm like, man, that just looks right. You know?
Yeah.
I'd put one on the satellite, but you know, it doesn't need one.
I sold you that hood, didn't I?
Yeah, no. The 6-pack hood. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
Pro Stock scoop.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, no, I'm gonna play with that.
cool.
By the way, if you want a quality one of those, Larry does sell one.
For the 69s.
Well, he sells like a real, like the actual, like what's on my duster.
Oh,
He
okay.
sells it in a couple different heights.
Yeah.
He's the only guy that offers the Sox and Martin version of that scoop where it's like super tall.
Yeah.
He's the only guy who offers that one. And it's built off of basically the mold of the original.
I got something I want to show you pretty bad, Jed. As far as like the only thing I don't like about it is just the hood scoop. But
You do have my cell phone number.
I know. But
You
then
never freaking call or text me anymore.
I went through this phase where I kind of felt like I was, like the more live streams I was watching in the beginning, the more kind of butthurt I got because, it was weird. I was going to I get in these paranoid phases and stuff, but everyone's building these cars from the ground up and everyone's, ratty muscle car and like not painting this and not painting that. And in some kind of weird way, I kind of started taking it personal. I know that's freaky, but anyway, I was like,
shiny
I
car.
kind of started feeling like the odd man out. But then I'm like, Mark, you're just weird. I spend too much time not talking to people, except at work, and I don't like those people. So.
I just figured you've been busy.
I like my coworkers, but when you get yelled at and treated like shit every 5 minutes, and I'm the guy that's got to settle disputes and call security to get people out and stuff, and yeah, it sucks.
Thank you for your service.
I'm in a position where I want to reach out and talk to people that know things more than I do or talk about stuff, but at the same time I'm like, I'm not at that level. I should just be quiet.
You're more than welcome to hop into one of Brian's lives, man. Anybody's welcome.
Yeah.
That it's cool.
That's what I found out.
One time, I did jump on and like I don't have a headphone and all I got is my phone. And one time, Ruben's like, Mark, I'm booting you out. You don't have a headphone. So then I got to thinking I thought I had to have a headphone, so then I never tried to join in again. But it
when
turns
you
out
were on the live here last night, and you didn't have headphones and it worked, and you're like, hey, cool.
Yeah. So now I'm like, now you can't get rid of me.
Well, the only thing I will say this on behalf of Brian.
Brian, that was your first live last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's like I seen you on. It's like, hey, let's go give him a try. It's like, hey, I'm back again.
I'd consider that a pretty successful live. I mean, I had Jed, I had Bigfoots and Mopars, I had John Wilburn, I had.
He's stalking me, man. He followed me over at 2X earlier.
That reminds me, I got to ask John for his email.
I think you lost your set though.
Oh, here you go, Mark.
Yeah, I will say this on behalf of Brian is when people come into his lives, the only thing he asks is, you actually contribute. You don't just sit there and go,
dead air. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of hard when you have the Brady Bunch screen up there.
Yeah.
Though. When you guys get as many as you do,
you don't want to jump into somebody else's conversation.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to interrupt.
Right.
Well, then it's kind of like in the chat, and you got that many people on screen. The conversation starts going somewhere, and you got a point you want to make, but you hold off for a second, and all of a sudden, in that second, the whole conversation's gone 180 degrees in a different direction.
Or you forget what you're going to say.
Yeah, what you wanted to say doesn't fit anymore.
I try and type over in the chat too. I got to go to the other window. It's like I got here, and then I got the chat too. And it's like sometimes I forget the chat's even going on because I'm just.
Dude, I love that. I'm. Like I said, not technological enough to be able to figure out how to watch the chat on my phone while I'm on here, and I'm missing it because
the phone thing is.
Well, if you bring up YouTube on one window and mute that, and then watch this on live stream, you got to jump back between the windows.
Yeah.
But you can't really do that on a phone, though.
Yeah, my phone.
Oh yeah. You're on a phone. That's my bad. I don't even want to attempt trying to do it on the phone. Yeah. I'm on the laptop, and it confuses me.
I got two screens rocking right now. So I've got the stream on this window, and then I've got the chat just pulled up in a pop-out window on my other screen.
All right. How much lag you got on the YouTube one?
Well, see, I don't have the YouTube actually pulled up itself. I just have the chat popped up in its own little window.
Both? Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I can't live with that lag. It screws me up.
Yeah, I've tried that too.
Well, chatting over on the YouTube is
The
probably
lag or the echoing?
Oh, the lag.
Well,
how you keep it
the
muted.
lag is the thing because the two are working on two different circuits.
That's how I figured out how Fubar axes everybody, because he sees it before. He's got that like little 8-second delay or that lag, and
Right.
he hammers everybody even before they even.
Yeah, Brian was the first time I was ever actually on a live. Like I said, that one time I tried on Rubens, but then it was like the very end of one of Brian's chats, and it wound up just being me and him. That was awesome, Brian. I really enjoyed that. And now that I know I don't need headphones, I'll have to join in again.
Yeah, give it a shot, man.
But I love listening to like when you and Tall John and those guys start talking technical stuff. I just sit back and kind of take my little notebook out.
I had this feeling today. I was working on those tunnel ram cars. I was like, I want to talk to Tall John, and I called him, and he was actually having a really bad day. One of the buses, there's two buses, at least
I
two of
hate
them.
to hear that, but that's funny.
Oh man.
And one bus, an engine went out, and on the other bus, the
Ooh.
tranny went out. So he was having a really shit day.
Well, he should be able to build one out of two then.
Well,
Yeah,
he's got to have them
that's
both
not
running. So I didn't know how long we were on the phone until I realized how cold it was getting, and I looked at my phone, and 3 hours had gone by. And him and I were just carb stuff and just bullshit, and I always love talking to Tall John over the phone.
I always laugh because one time in the middle of the night at work, I was like, remember when I was looking for that? Anyway, I don't even know why I didn't think of you right away, but I was looking for a street dominator intake for a low deck. And I threw up on like a Facebook group. I'm like, hey, does anyone know where someone might have one of these? And it was like, I knew that like I'm working in the middle of the night. It's like 3 a.m. And I'm like, no one's going to see this till the morning or anything. And I'm like, oh shit, why didn't I think of Jed? And I think I texted you at 3 a.m. and right away Jed's like, yep, got one. So I was like, at 3 o'clock in the morning, Jed's a 24-hour service.
I actually, yeah. So I don't go to. So I operate from 7 to technically midnight, but I will stay up till about 3 a.m. to 2 a.m.
Wow.
just for instances like that, or mostly those last 2 hours before I go to bed and pass out are kind of for my own sake. Everybody, I just shut everything off. But that doesn't happen anymore.
So my point was just
Now you're stuck on my wives.
You call Jed all night, every hour, on the hour.
No. I try not to hand out my phone number as much as I used to for the business.
Yeah.
You yelled at me, man.
2 o'clock and all's well. It's like from the Watchtower. 2 o'clock and all's well.
It's got to be hard trying to keep like your YouTube world separate from your business sometimes.
It's really difficult because I used to just be like, hey, call me. I don't want to text. And nowadays it's like, hey, shoot me an email because I don't want to hand out my phone number because I've had one too many weirdos get my phone number and then you can't take it back.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, Jed, but I added you on Facebook. Must have been 2 years ago, year and a half ago, something like that. You messaged me immediately. Do I know you? I only have my friends on Facebook and stuff. I'm sorry, but I don't know you. And I'm like, okay, I just saw your channel and I saw you're on Facebook. And
hey, that's the only thing I ask. If you're gonna add me on Facebook, at least tell me why.
Right, that makes sense.
I literally have like 320 something friend requests.
Jeez.
And I won't add anybody because I don't know who the fuck I'm adding.
Right.
And so sometimes
I don't even Facebook.
When I'm bored.
You don't know their intention.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when I'm bored, I'll sit there and I'll scan through those people and go like to the profile and see what they're about, what I can learn. And if I get a good feeling about them, I'll send them a message back. Hey, do I know you? Yeah, I do stay up late talking to Brian half the time.
Yeah, Brian's just naturally easy guy to talk to. It seems like,
He is.
like I said, that time I popped in there, everyone popped off, and it's like, yeah, he's a cool guy.
Jed.
Yeah.
Put out that video about the wiring diagrams from jegs and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
They only go back to 1964.
Well, so I think the wiring on a 62 and a 64 are very similar, if not the same.
I can believe that. I was just wiring diagram, because my electrical is shot. It's That's why when you get intake plates on a vehicle that you're not allowed to drive them after daylight hours, that's because your headlights might go out on you, But
I'd be willing to take a gamble on that 64 harness being correct for your car, at least not close.
I'm sure it's close. It still runs, so I ain't worried about it right now.
What do you want me to do? Call the right guy at Jegs and get you a free harness or a free diagram?
Doesn't my Mopar?
I'm not bucking for anything. I'm just, as long as it runs, I don't have a problem. I had them both running yesterday. A buddy from work stopped over, and he's 20 years old. He's going to be 21 here Memorial Weekend. So he's
younger than me.
The wife won't let him drink at the house. She don't know that yet. Wendy, Frank's only 20. So sorry about that, Frank. I know he is not here, but he's a gearhead, and I'm showing it's like, oh, it's like carburetor. He's like, what the fuck's a carburetor? But he wants to learn.
Yeah, so, that's all you can ask for.
It's cool. It's this new generation doesn't understand the old school. Hell, I don't even know, and I lived it, but
I was going to say I'm 29.
I haven't found any new kid that except for Ryan. That's about the only person I've found that actually knows anything about a Mopar.
I wouldn't lose faith in the younger generation just yet. So my good friend Tom has a good point. He's 62. He's not real old, but he says just in his years of doing the Mopar hobby, people have been saying it's dying out every year. Every new generation, it's dying out, the car hobby. He says his opinion is
yes, it's changing on the car history. Yeah.
Well, what Tom says is the number of car guys does not shrink or grow. It stays static, but the population continues to grow. So it makes it seem like it's getting smaller, but actually it stays exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's just the percentage of people that are car
It's just
people.
It's moving along the timelines, all it's doing.
Yeah.
But saying my uncle, he's got a 49 Dodge. He's putting a 6-cylinder 4-speed in. It's like, get her done, buddy.
Did you know that mymopar.com probably has that wiring diagram? We go back to 1960.
Yeah. The only thing I like about those Jegs ones is they're in full color and they're laminated.
Yeah,
I have all those diagrams in the factory manuals, but they're all black and white. And when you're chasing one wire,
it gives you a headache.
Yeah.
Get a highlighter, man. Just put a highlighter on it.
Oh, there's an idea.
Yeah, I'll spend the $15
and highlight the circuit you
get 7 different highlighters.
Yeah, you can do it that way, but I can read it no problem.
Yeah, I just like having it in full color and laminated. I don't like breaking out my service manual just to look at the wiring diagram.
Yeah, and they're all painted.
I never have a problem, though. I can always wire it, no problem. Electricity is not a problem in my world.
Yeah.
If I can't see it, I got a problem with it. I had
all the wiring out of my 74, completely stripped down to nothing. Okay, it's just sitting there, all right? 6 years after it's just sitting there, I put it all back together again.
Yeah.
I tried to put
when I treated
wiring harness back.
It's not like a modern vehicle. A modern vehicle has way more wiring than any of our Mopars.
You can't even work on a newer model. I can't. I can do brakes. That's about it. Brakes tune up. Other than that, it's shit's going to the garage.
A newer model car has more wiring in the taillights than our entire cars.
Yeah.
Goddamn right. Most cars have about 40 modules. You know what a module is? That's a computer. 40 different computers.
You know how many my 62 Valiants have?
Nothing.
Yep. Usually, if I got an electrical problem, it's a ground.
Yeah. That's why I like the old cars. I don't like anything about the modern cars. I won't even buy them. I like the Challengers and all, but I really don't want to buy one.
No, the only thing I got modern is our daily drivers, and I drive everything to the junkyard. I got a Ford Freestyle that it's got an all-wheel drive malfunction since I bought it. It's an all-wheel drive, but it's only drives on one corner. Imagine that.
When I drive 10 to 11 hours down to see my mom, I love my truck because, it's got the Bose surround sound and I can just say, directions and it'll do it for me. It's hands-free, everything. So I love all the modern conveniences. But when I have my days off in the summertime, nothing I like better than getting in my 68 Satellite with the roll-up windows, the bench seat, my
brother had a 69.
My brain just seems like it calms way down because of the simplicity of the car.
I'd rather go back in time.
Back to another year.
It just takes me back. It relaxes me. I like rolling my window up and rolling it down. It's fun, nowadays.
Roll up your windows.
I had to go to get, birthday presents for my kid, right? And I'm driving in my 2001 Taurus. I can't hardly get out of that car when I'm done driving it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to
climb
it, grunt and groan, and.
But when I get in my '87 Ram Charger, I'm comfortable, no problem at all. I got leg room.
You slide straight in. You ain't got to climb or climb down, climb up.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I don't want that crap. You can keep it. Take it over there somewhere.
The air conditioning doesn't work in the Satellite, but it's a hard top. So you roll down all four of those windows.
90 mile an hour, all windows down.
I just like to drive around south of the city here on this country roads out by where Kuda Dan lives and that.
Does that still
drive
have
with my arm on the door, windows all down?
Does the 68 have the vent windows?
You could get those. Mine's the hard top. But
I was wondering if they had the
windows.
The wing windows.
I think the top windows, the problem I have with them, I love them. I think they're cool the way they pop out. But the front part of it, the chrome trim between it and the front window, it's so thick, and then it goes at an odd angle. It kind of breaks up the lines of the roof. So for me, I don't like the looks of it, but I like the function of it. Whereas the hard top, it looks better with the windows all down.
The 78 New Yorkers, they were canted 45 degrees back. Mm-hmm. So when they opened, they were 45 degrees back.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, 90 miles an hour, there's your air conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way it is in my Valiant. It's wing wind and the floor vent.
Even with a column shift automatic, I do have a hard time with my coffee though. Because I like to go up and get my coffee, and I'm driving around and I spill it a lot because I don't have any cup holders. But I refuse to put a cup holder in the car.
My neighbor's 2018 Ram, the transmission's been going out over and over. He's taken it back about 6 times to the dealer. So he calls me up. He says, "Can you drive me down to the dealer to pick up the truck?" I said, "Okay, no problem." He gets in my 87. He says, "Where's the cup holders?" There are no cup holders. It's a man's truck. Hold your damn coffee. What it is. You don't have seat warmers and automatic seat things, and the pedals don't adjust. Nobody even knows how to park a car no more. Okay, if the car doesn't park itself, they're like, "Doesn't the car park itself?" I'm like, "No, you got to park it."
That's like the wife's van has one of them backup monitors. I gotta look out the window. I can't work out.
I can't use mine on my truck either. I mean, the only time I like the backup monitor is when I'm backing up to load a trailer by myself.
Yep.
It's kind of like a video game, and then it's functional, and I really appreciate it because
and little yellow red lines, right?
Trying to hook up a trailer by yourself just sucks without it, you back up, you get out, you look, you back up, But with that little backup camera, that's the only time I ever use it. Otherwise, it distracts me. My wife laughs at me because I still put my arm on the back of the seat and look over behind me.
Well, when you got a bench seat, it's easy.
Mm.
But my boss, man, he can. He's like, "Oh, go pick up the trailer. Need any help?" Nope. So go back under that trailer and nail it about every time. Them cameras.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm afraid about running into the neighbor's car out back, and I still got that much room,
The one time I actually was trusting the backup camera on my truck. It was nighttime, and I backed into my garbage can and I put a dent in my tailgate. So I was like, that serves me right. That serves me right.
Now you know.
Mm.
I was gonna say in chat, talking about universal wiring harness. I know, like on my Duster, it's only got 6 fuses for the entire deal, and the same thing with Jezebel. I'm not a super wiring guy, but if you're just wiring a race car, I don't even know if it'd be worth buying a freaking harness. Like,
just buy some rolls and keep them.
The thing is, when you buy wiring, make sure it's the correct gauge. I've had people take cars and use smaller gauge and try to run 20 or 30 amps through it. And I'm like, dude, this is going to get hot. It's going to burn. And they're like, but it's the cheapest one I could get. I said, okay, you want to burn the thing down, no problem.
Well, I only run factory original harnesses. I won't even buy a reproduction harness by anybody. Like, that's why my satellite sat for as long as it did. Now it's just going to sit because people are being dickheads about it. I will only put an original harness tag in that car, and now I have 2. Perfect.
Look at the heater circuit on that satellite. Look how thick the wires are.
Yeah.
They're pretty thick, okay? Yep. People try to chintz out on that, and they don't realize the amount of amperage that's going through those wires. The factory did that for a reason.
That 73 satellite's really cool. I have almost the identical car. It's that Autumn Bronze. It's a 400 automatic car with black interior. It wasn't Bucket's console like yours, but a similar car.
Did you have AC?
Yep.
Gonna say, yeah. That's the only that car to me, mine. It's cool. You got one.
Yeah. Sebring Plus with the rally gauges and stuff.
Yeah. That's the only way to have one. I love that color. It's almost burnt orange, but not quite.
My dad's got a 71 GTX that's that color.
Ooh.
Full white vinyl top, white interior.
Yeah, I know Brian likes that silly shit. He can go with that. I just know I'm feeding 600 plus horsepower with a mechanical pump.
It doesn't need to eat up that much horsepower.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But people think that, they save a little bit on the horsepower here. Electric fan, not pulling the fan, save 5 or 6 horsepower there, shit like that.
Well,
I'm glad I just got to keep mine running. I had them both fired up yesterday. They both ran great. It's like, yeah, we're ready.
Yeah.
Still, they need work. The interior is.
Well, that's where I'm right now.
I got one covered up with a solar cover for a swimming pool for the winter. That's going to the garbage on Tuesday. It's just the seals were never good even from the factory, so just needs aired out. I got to put some new indoor-outdoor carpet in them.
Fucking hey, man.
But my uncle, when he had them, he put new floors in Gurley, which is the factory slant 6 push button. He put a little flat. It's probably about so big. He put, how people need some place to set a coffee or whatever. He built a little hump off the tunnel when he put floors in it, so he had a shelf to put everything.
Brian is trying to start a fist fight now. Sorry,
guys. Is not brown.
There is a legit brown color. I apologize. Fuck stick. Autumn bronze is bronze. It is not brown. Okay. I sold my 80 Trans Am, which was Fiero bronze, very, very freaking metallic orange color. But it's not fucking brown, and I sold it because I got freaking fed up with it. Autumn bronze is not brown.
No, I'll show you brown. This is
Yeah.
brown. I sold brown today.
Yeah, there's a
Well, what is that? A metallic brown though?
Yeah, it is.
So
All right.
when I was younger, I used to hate green cars and brown cars, and now I actually like them. That root beer kind of brown metallic of that.
Yeah,
Charger.
my
Root
Cordova's
beer,
that color.
Yes.
Yeah, that I like that color too. Now that I'm older, you know.
yeah.
To
be honest-
I'm learning to not like red. I don't know why. It's always
Oh,
been
no.
resale red.
Oh, cops love red when it comes to tickets.
That's always been my favorite color. That's
When
why.
My 70 GTO was red, and I loved it. And I've never got another red car again because I love that car so much. But if I had a cool enough car, I'd paint it red. But
Oh, my least
Yeah.
favorite color for the longest time was blue,
mhm.
and my favorite color has always and will always be red.
Mhm.
I have never owned a single red car.
Mhm.
Every car I've owned has been blue or some shade of it.
So
Like Jezebel, one shade of blue, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Since I was 12, I used to go into the speed shops. You know, we were walking back and forth from parks and stuff, and always looking at old cars and playing in my uncle's junkyard. The first thing I was ever going to do to any car I ever got was put a set of Krager SS's on it because those were my favorite wheels.
Those are
And
big
I didn't
wheels.
own my first pair until I got the Jack Pine. I've never bought a
Oh,
pair of
look at that.
Krager SS's in my life.
Can't go wrong with Kragers.
Yeah.
Kragers.
I
just
like
make
my
it
slots, man.
Aluminum
I like my
slots.
slots.
I do like. I used to hate the slots, but now I definitely love them.
I've always liked slots.
a
Slots
15 by
good
12
for
slot
everything.
rim on the back of a Mopar with a big beefy meat on it. That would be the best.
Slots are cool. They're old school.
I know I'm probably. I've always been a Keystone over Krager guy.
Freestones are
Yeah,
good
like-
too. I mean,
I like all the lines. It's a more unique wheel. It's got more going on in it.
I've liked Keystones. There's certain, I agree, certain cars they do look a lot better. You know.
Yeah. It's
Each
one
car,
of the wheels that
whenever
just
I
doesn't
look at a
look on
car,
one,
the
doesn't mean it
car
works on
tells
the
me
other.
what it wants to look like. I know that sounds maybe weird, but when I saw my satellite in Craigslist with the 14-inch Magnums, I still want to get a set of 15-inch Magnums for it because it looks awesome with them. But you know, it's a price down.
the only
more.
problem with 14s, I can't get
But
the brakes I
The
want.
minute
on.
I saw my satellite on Craigslist, I'm like, black steel wheels, boom. You know, that's what that car needed, and I don't regret the choice there. You know.
Guy gave me a 374 Charger, had 14s in the front, right?
Mm.
And we're trying to push it. I go, dude, it's got 14s in the front. It's scraping against the damn calipers. That's why we can't move them.
Yeah, you need 15s for disc brakes.
Exactly.
I need to clean up and pay some attention to those 14-inch Magnums, though. They're kind of getting some surface rust on them just being in storage.
Yeah, the Magnum also could be off center on you and give you a vibration.
I've headed to Brian's shop with a 5-gallon or with a gallon of red paint
Ah.
with a roller.
So I'm, as Brian is to red cars, I am to yellow.
Oh yeah,
I really don't like yellow cars, and I'm so tired of orange Mopars. I mean, it
My
looks
dart's
nice,
going orange. I don't care.
but I get tired of orange, like you know, like the orange Roadrunner with the black hood, or you know,
Well,
Well,
orange.
so I'll say this: like burnt orange,
It
being
looks-
metallic orange.
Mm.
That's an orange I can accept.
I'm not saying I don't like the orange. You know, it does look nice, but
just
it
overdone.
seems like that's the first thing people do is paint them that color because that's what they saw and that's what they see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dart was Tor red, so I should go back to Tor red.
It's kind of like plum crazy. You know, I'm like,
Oh, I love plum crazy.
I like it, but then again, I don't know if I'm a plum crazy paint kind of guy. You know,
Oh, I'm a plum crazy
Yeah,
kind
it's
of guy. Look at that.
Well, this comes back to what I was saying earlier about high impact colors really do nothing for me
yeah.
because I know like all of my buddies around here, when they go and restore a car, it doesn't matter what color it is. They're like, okay, well, I've got this high impact car. I got this one. I got this one. I got this one. What high impact car do I not have on a car yet? And they
White.
think,
White. My
yeah,
favorite.
none of my buddies own white cars. And it's like, that's like a great color.
You can overdo it. You can overdo it. You're right. You can overdo it. You can go white with a pearl and get it to glow on you.
I love pearl. I think a white paint job with a pearl in it.
Oh, yeah. That's going to look hot.
I love the fact that my car is a factory silver car.
Silver cars are rare. They
Yeah,
didn't
that's
paint
so-
many in silver.
I never thought about it, but yeah, silver is rare.
Yeah.
The sad part is, though, when it's kind of overcast a little bit, it almost looks gray. So I get so many people tell me they love the destroyer gray that I painted my car, thinking
no.
I painted it a modern destroyer gray.
Battleship gray?
Yeah, I'm like, wait till the sun.
honestly
I'm
hate
like,
that color.
wait till the sun comes out.
Destroyer gray is just shiny primer.
Yeah.
A gray with a metallic in it is a great color, but a hard color to shoot, man, to get it right.
Well, that's like the silver. To match silver is pretty tough too.
Yeah, it's tough. Because the pattern of the flakes as they fall, you got to be pretty good at it.
To be honest, if you look close, the hood on my satellite has a little bit of tiger striping.
Mm-hmm. I hate that. When I'm painting and I see tiger stripe, oh, that drives me out of my mind.
Yep.
Aluminum slots, man.
Aluminum slots. My brother got me a set of aluminum slots for my birthday years ago. It cost me $400 to put rubber on it.
When I had my Coronet, I started searching hard for a pair of 15 by 12 slots, and man,
nope. You're not gonna.
And you can't even find anyone that makes them. It's like no one's reproducing them. No, but they just look badass on the old drag cars.
Yeah,
deep,
you're
deep
hard,
dish
you're not
slots.
You're like finding anything bigger than a 10 is going to be impossible. Just like finding skinny slots. If you find skinny slots 3.5s,
yeah,
4.5s, you're going to be spending $1,000 at a minimum.
Wow.
Yeah, skinny slots are those and skinny keystones, both equally stupid price.
So
now,
the one thing that was
the
kinda
15-inch
cool is-
tires are getting hard to find.
Yeah, they're not that bad. It's just supply chain.
There was a 68 GTX up here. Guy actually painted it and made it a Roadrunner because he liked Roadrunners better, but it was like a turquoise color and it had a 500 stroker in it, and he had Kragers on it. But the thing that was cool was it was that from the year when Krager was making aluminum versions of their wheel.
Oh.
So they looked like Krager. You could tell they looked different because the sheen was kind of off a little bit. But they looked exactly like Kragers, and they're aluminum, so they'd be lightweight for racing. And that's like, I don't know if a guy could ever find those, but because the Jack Pine's going to have Kragers on it forever,
I got a pair of turbines that came from California.
So I'll run this by you guys. The only one thing I thought about doing is, painting my drums red.
No.
But, no. I got one no.
Sorry,
Got one though.
I'm just not into that look.
Mm-hmm.
I was 20 once.
Yeah.
In your defense, Ryan.
So I'm old enough to have been 21 twice.
Oh, 21. I was 21
Almost thrice.
I barely remember 21 because I was high and drunk a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I paint all my brake drums basically as dark as I can make them. It vanishes behind the wheel. Like on Jezebel's brake drums, I actually painted them black, and then I went over them with a blue candy.
Mm-hmm.
So when the sun's hitting, when you're looking through the keystones, you can see just a tint of blue.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't the Keystone center cap blue?
Yeah, I took the Keystone center cap and actually filled it with resin. I painted the background black, and then I filled it full of resin. The resin didn't stick too good. They're kind of falling out.
Live and learn.
Yeah.
Did you have to paint your keystones to touch them up?
No, I won't paint my keystones.
Like the black
I
part?
remember the video you did about painting Jezebel, and redoing it, and all the arguments of that. Everybody's like, "Oh, that was insane." I was like, "Holy crap! Just leave it alone."
All I did was paint my roof. My roof, all the paint was burned off my roof, and it just bugged me. So I was like, "Screw it!" I bought a bunch of B5, which is more like B3, and painted the roof. Sanded most of the paint off. That was like $120 worth of paint, and I sanded off about $90 worth of it.
Wow.
I was about to say $25 of it stayed.
Yeah, and when Chris Birdsong was at my house last time or time before, he was looking at it. He goes, "Dude, you did a killer job with this," because it looks like, he even commented. He said, "This looks like it's real. It doesn't look like you sat there and sanded off a bunch of paint." And I was like,
and he would know.
Yeah, I was like, if Chris passes, if it passes,
Also, it's real patina. That's real patina, then.
It was good money then.
So one of the questions I have about like the whole patina thing, like, so you have a car and let's say you want to kind of touch it up and paint it, so you scuff it a little bit, and then you just paint over the rust, and then when you go to like scuff it up again, or do you just let the rust come through the paint?
You can, if you got time, you let the rust bleed back through. You can't put primer down. You can't do any prep work because you want that shit to bleed back through if you're going to let it kind of re-age. That's the whole point if you're trying to touch up.
Yeah.
Like, so there's some cars that wear patina great. There is a certain thing as too far.
Yeah.
And then
I agree. Not all.
And there's the same thing with colors. There are some colors that wear patina great, and some colors that just look like hammered ass.
That's why white's easy for patina.
Yeah, white looks pretty good. The only downside to white is it gets kind of chalky, but white does wear it really good.
Yeah, with the patina though, if you clear coat patina, it'll mess it up, man. It messes it up.
If you're gonna paint over rust, you got to go matte. The people that put the clear over like rust,
it looks like mud.
It doesn't even look like rust anymore. It's like you smeared mud on your car.
I see that a lot of cars.
I haven't filmed it, but I have a regiment. Every 4 months, I basically doused Jezebel in like 2 cans of WD-40 and let it sit in the sun and bake in.
I can see that.
And that actually gives the car a nice little, like almost like a satin sheen. But once that stuff absorbs into the rust, it prevents it, and actually it beads up so water don't just sit on the body.
Yeah, WD-40 is good for that.
Yeah.
It works real good inside of caps too.
It takes water spots off windows too.
Yeah. So I mean that's part of caring for a car that's got that look. I was never a huge patina fan, but as far as paint and body work, you do it the right way. You don't half-ass a paint job, and so it's easier to care for a patina job than it is to care for a beautiful show paint job.
Oh yeah, any little scratch, oh my God, you're gonna have a shitload. Take it to the Walmart and somebody smacks into the door. Oh shit!
Like literally, I pulled the cover off of my satellite a while back just to look at the car, and the paint is literally falling off of the car.
Look at it.
Yeah, it was bad. I put the cover back on it, and I was like, I'm gonna pretend like I didn't see the paint falling off the car.
There's a spot on the side of my satellite, right around the taillight, and I think it's on the driver's side. It's kind of a pop metal that goes around the very taillight itself that kind of caps the rear end of the quarter panel.
The quarter panel extensions.
There's a spot where the paint's flaked off. And whenever I watch my videos, my eye goes right to it. But because it's pop metal, it's kind of a dull silver. So you really don't notice it because, the car, but it's the first thing I see.
Yeah, I'd say just leave it because...
Oh, I'm not going to do anything to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or get like a touch-up pen and make it closed.
The satellite photographs like 10 times better than it is, but it's still pretty damn nice. But you can see some waves down the side of it and that. But it's nice enough to where when I want it to shine up, it looks awesome. And then I'm not so scared of it. But the paint job on the Jack Pine is just...
none of those cars were perfect.
It's the nicest paint job I've ever had on any car.
Even a shitty car looks good as long as it's clean.
Yeah.
None of those cars
mean,
are perfect for
My
me.
guys, I scrub them with a 3M Scotch Brite pad. I mean, being white, they get that little black mold down in the pores, and you can.
Yep. That was the worst
hands
part
down,
about
the
my
interior
car.
on the satellite is way better than the Jack Pines. It's got a blue carpet in it, which is okay. It's got a blue headliner, but it was a top hat car. It used to have a white vinyl top and white interior, white and blue. But the thing I hate, and I think, I hate two-tone interiors, and the Jack Pine has blue seatbelt harness. So the first thing I'm going to do is replace that with black, just because it just stands out too much. It's the flashiest, gaudiest thing on the car.
You're getting rid of blue seat belts.
Yeah,
I want them.
well, this is
I
a racing.
collect blue seat belts.
I don't have any seat belts, and I need belts, and I got a blue interior. So
It's a race harness from a
now.
Yeah.
Hey Don, I'm gonna post my email in chat. Get a hold of me through my email. So Jezebel runs a race harness, and I have collected a shitload of blue seat belts.
I just need something even a lap belt.
Yeah,
because they weren't factory in '62. They weren't required till '65 or some shit. But I hear it's a minimum at a track. You got to have seat belts.
Yeah, so if you need some blue seat belts, I'll go through my collection, and I can put some blue belts for you together, some factory stuff.
All right, I'd be happy with 2 for up front, but I don't know if for the back seat too. The grandkids, I like to take the grandkids for ice cream once in a while, and they're real sticklers about seat belts.
What are you gonna put it in lap belts?
That's all the satellite has in '68 is lap belts.
Yeah. I've got a 4-point cam lock harness in Jezebel now. I was always going to put the blue belts in the car, but I've collected enough of them, and now I got to run the harness to be safe. So there's no reason. I mean, a guy who's looking for blue belts, I know how hard that is. So I'll spread the love.
I got a question for you, Jed.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
How's that race harness work with a bench seat?
You can't run the crotch belt.
Well, you can poke a hole through the seat, but it would probably.
No.
I was gonna.
That's not gonna happen. Holy
Jed,
crap!
Jed, you remember when I was gonna do that?
Yeah.
RT seats
with a pair of fucking 70 RT. Don't do
You're
that.
gonna have to be an upholsterer to do that, man.
So, honestly, I don't know how good those racing harnesses are when, like driving Jezebel around town. My suspension is still set pretty soft. I need to stiffen it up, but literally every time I bounce around in the car, I'm mostly bouncing off of the seat. And I'm getting sucked into the seat, pushed out, sucked into the seat because it's so plush.
Yeah. Well,
So
because I know, like when I'm driving my satellite around, it's got the overpowered power steering and stuff, and like if I'm kind of doing something kind of quickly in that, I'm like, yeah, I forgot that part about the sliding on a bench seat. So all I could think is having 600 horsepower and like sliding to your left or right,
Bench seats suck because anything you put on the seat's going to disappear.
Yeah.
Yep.
You want to find change. You want to find a ballast resistor. You want to find it's down in the seat.
I love my bench seat.
Oh, I do too.
Oh, I like it too. I like throwing the arm back over, and it's like, I got to put a towel down because the vinyl makes it stick.
Shame I'm not cording anymore.
Yes.
One of the problems I got is I can't put my arm up comfortably because I'm always changing gears.
Yeah.
Wow, that's where the automatic comes in handy.
Yeah.
That's the reason I don't want to put a floor shift in the satellite either. I want to keep the reverse manual with the column because I like having the straight across. I don't want to have something to impede the feet, like if I slide across and stuff. But
yeah, that's one thing I plan on doing in the Duster because it's a factory bench car as well, which is cool. 340 car with a bench seat and a column shift. I'm going to probably put either a forward or reverse pattern valve body in it, all manual. And I want to try, I've got this vision in my head, just like I did with my exhaust. I did on Jezebel. Everybody said it was too complicated. Where I want to find a way to put a gate plate in the column shifter so that way it locks into each gear. So that way you can't just bam all the way to neutral. If it was, say, forward pattern, normal.
Yeah. So because I only have a 2-barrel on my satellite, and I grew up, my first car was a 73 Firebird, which was surprisingly a column shift. And then like when I'd race my dad's truck with the 390, it was a column shift. So I'm actually pretty comfortable with even like a regular pattern automatic, but you just don't get overzealous. I shift it with 2 fingers, you know. I just give it a tap, and then I give it a tap. But I'm really looking forward to the reverse where it's the opposite direction, you know, especially if I'm going to have more horsepower. But I'm going to do the same thing, just like nice and relaxed, tap, tap, you know.
See, I got it easier on this Valiant. My uncle put a Mustang shifter in it. The first gear just touches the bench seat. So first gear is against the seat. The second gear, I just run my fingers between the shifter and the seat. Then third gear, all I got to do is knuckle it up. So I like it.
One of the funnest things in the world is to drive a column shift manual. That's a good time.
Oh,
when I was in,
feel it. You got to feel it going through the mechanisms.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I could drive a manual, and nobody else could. And at Hy-Vee, when they would have people, like, you would load their car with their groceries and they'd go home. If they got the wrong groceries, someone had to go get them and give them the right stuff. And the deli van was a column shift, and they asked if anyone could drive a manual. I'm like, oh, hell yeah. So I go there, and I'm like, what the hell's this? And I had no idea what the shift pattern was, you know, and it was like an H pattern. And I didn't know that. It took me a couple of times before I finally figured it out.
Once you know the pattern.
Yeah, once I knew the pattern, I'm like, oh man, this is a blast. You know,
I remember shop class. It'd be a car come in. I remember the shop teacher's daughter had a Hornet. It's a 3-speed manual. And to watch, it's like, can you drive a stick? Yes. Like, here, pull this up on the ramps. And that was the best entertainment, watching people trying to get that up on the ramps. But that's how you learn. Either that or on a railroad grade.
Everybody should learn how to drive a stick at least once.
I agree.
Yeah, they're fun. When I first got out of LPN school, I needed a car, a commuter, and I wanted something that got good gas mileage. So the only way I could justify buying a Honda Civic, I bought a brand new Honda Civic, was to get a manual. And that made that car so much fun, just because it was fun to zip through the gears. So I test drove a modern Accord that was a 6-speed, thinking that it would be kind of a fun car to drive. It sucked. You got like almost no feel from the gear shift, and then the clutch. Everything was so overpowered. It's like, it might as well be an automatic. It just was, I didn't feel like I was interacting with the car. It was like it was disassociated. And I'm like, I don't like this. You know, I like the weight of the clutch. Like my Firebird had a nice heavy clutch, you know, and I like pushing on it, you know, and I like the pulling the gear shift into gear, you know.
The 6-speed probably had a hydraulic clutch.
Well, that's actually one thing I can say I like about Jezebel's clutch is it's that hydraulic throwout bearing with the dual disc.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a nice feel to it. Like, I like a clutch that talks back, like releases itself. Like, it wants me to get my foot the hell off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And
sidestep it.
Yeah. And so I was really shocked when I put my foot down on that clutch pedal, and it was like, I got to put some effort into this. It's not like it just.
Yeah, I want to feel a spring down there.
Yeah, you can feel that with that Hydromax American Powertrain throwout bearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some resistance to it, so you can actually get some pedal feedback from it.
So it's not like a modern car that you can just feel nothing.
Yeah,
you don't feel anything at all.
You can still feel that resistance because that throwout bearing, you know, you're pushing the pedal, which is pushing fluid. And that's then, you know, pushing the throwout bearing to the fingers and depressing everything. And I actually took a video through the scatter shield where you can watch that throwout bearing working. and it's
Oh, that'd
super
be
fucking cool.
And it's a dual
like to
clutch
see
too,
that.
right?
Yeah, it's a dual disc clutch.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta call it for.
Oh, you're good, man. Yeah.
I was wondering when it was
I
going
was
to
supposed to
happen.
call it about an hour ago.
Yeah, you want to call it?
I
call
thought
it
it was
about-
asleep a couple seconds ago, but
want to call it about an hour ago.
Yeah, we'll do it
all right,
again.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely got to do this again.
Yeah.
Holy shit! It's 2:00 in the morning.
This
Yeah,
is the
nice
week-
listening to you guys.
Yeah, I always enjoy like the.
I'm glad
the
my
cameras
boss,
off, man.
my boss called it a rain day for tomorrow. I'm glad. No alarm clock for this guy.
Hey, you're in Pennsylvania. I'm in New Jersey. It's rain day, all right.
Yeah, I know.
I go back to work starting tomorrow, so it's like
The drug.
this is the week where I disappear for a week, and it sucks.
Well, when
The
you come
aliens
back,
pick you up, right?
when you come back, we'll welcome you with open
Oh
arms.
yeah. Oh, I always try to lurk whenever I can. So, but,
Yeah, thanks for giving us a heads up.
Don't let the Grays work you too hard.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
All right.
Better-
Good night, guys.
better him than
Later.
me.
Good night, Ryan.
Later on.